Hello, our friends in chat. Will we really? Yes. Maybe? I don't know. Or how?
There's
uh,
Sam.
Oh, and there's Sam. Perfect timing. Okay. All right, let me switch over quickly
Yay!
to the other video setup, which should be pretty seamless. Please be pretty seamless. Yes, it is. Excellent.
Sorry, my computer decided today was the day to go super slow.
Oh no. You're fine, you're fine. Natch. But we're here together again, everyone.
Yay!
I forgot my other lights. Quick set, because that looks really dramatic. Lighting's a little too contrasty there. Let's go with maybe like a bluish. Nice blues for stormy weather. That'd be fine for now. Okay.
Ooh.
Right. So nice to have you all here again. I want to go and play D&D now, though.
Yeah. I do too.
All right, get my dice. So viewers, anyone that's piling in, I was just telling the players that today's the first day I sat down and was inspired to start writing up stuff for the new campaign. In a very small window that I had today, but lots of great ideas. So
Yay.
I do say so myself. No peer review, nothing else. Just me. Great ideas.
Right.
Sweet, delicious coffee. All right. Well, with that, I guess we'll just catch up for a minute. How y'all doing? How have y'all been since we wrapped up?
Doing well, doing great. I hope everybody else is the same.
I mean, I bought new dice and I have 3 on the way.
Fill that need.
I have eucalyptus.
Yay!
Oh, it's amazing.
I've been working a lot.
Oh.
It's kind of weird not being here on Fridays anymore.
Yeah.
It took a while for my brain and my body to readjust because we had such like a schedule for so long.
Right. Yeah.
I still have friends who are like, "Oh yeah, you're busy on Friday nights. Like you have D&D Friday night." And I'm like,
oh no.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, it's been 4.5 years. You can't expect me to adjust that quickly.
Yeah.
We don't have D&D for a while. It's not like we're not going to do a new campaign, guys, at the same time. Come on. Let's be real.
I will say, so my inspiration today was setting-wise, and I went through like 5 different settings that I thought, like, off the top of my head would be cool. Then, as I parsed them out, I'm like, no, this would have too many loops and hoops to jump through for players to care. Like, one was based in the Feywild, like the whole campaign is a continent in the Feywild, and they were sort of like different locations like that. One was everyone's ghosts, and they have to kind of resolve their murders. But they all kind of fit better for, like, one-shot formats. But it was kind of fun going through and doing that. But it definitely has me eager to, build it out and get back to D&D.
Good.
Yeah, Jonathan, maybe? It's only 4.5 years of content.
I'm glad that you're feeling the creative itch again, Dan. That's a good thing.
Yeah, yes. Just sort of, I've been able to put enough things down after sort of mostly moving in. And I was like, you know what? I just got some thoughts. I want to get those on paper, on Google Docs paper.
On paper.
Yeah, yeah.
Paper.
As it is, this era. Okay, so here we are. We got some viewers in. Viewers, please feel free to ask any questions you have. We'll start off with we'll start off with the ones asked in the Squawks channel. Oh, it feels so good. Today, the moment when Frank logged in, 'cause it's usually Frank or Warren that are first, and it was just that familiarity of like, oh, Frank's here, hey, and it just felt so nice. And like, all right. Then I was running around like a mad person.
Yeah.
Like a mad bird?
Yes, a mad bird.
Lol.
All right. Well, let's start with the first question asked by our very own Sam. What were your plans for Mina?
Because there was a whole thing, the whole thing when we were doing Felix becoming the king, there was a whole thing there with like spiders and whatnot, and I was like, oh, please no, please don't bring that back, her backstory back in. Which I don't know how much of her backstory actually came out in campaign or off campaign either.
Yeah. I mean, I've got I don't recall any coming out in campaign. The only bit that I think I have notes for was just like a speculation in chat and Facebook chat, like maybe Lilith is trying to bring her back, and it's like yes, sold. So I'll answer as best I can because I do keep things pretty loose to see like how each player is gonna go with things like that, where it's not like super clearly defined, and I'll build it out based on players' actions and such. But yes, in Bexley during all that, there were 3 locations that were going to be bombed in the city. You had a choice between pursuing, was it the Baron? Yeah, pursuing the Baron. I think it was the Baron. Or saving Bexley. And while going down into a cellar, I think it was the grain mill, to get rid of all those kegs of explosives. When you cleared all that out on your way out, you had caught that spider, and I think you even saw like a brief illusion of that on your arm or something. And so that was me tickling the idea of it was early into exploring the Lilith backstory with your character in a collaborative way. She I sort of had her presence there in Bexley at the time, and she was just checking, like, is this Mina? Is this the person?
Right.
But plans were pretty loose at that stage. Mainly gonna see like your reaction to that, and like where you went with it, and then kind of build on that. But I was really looking forward to like tying, you into like Lilith's web of, lies and threats and deceit, like with the people that you interacted with after, because you didn't really have too many people you were attached to. I think was the other piece I was thinking at the time, like let's let her flesh her life out here a bit. And then we can make this.
You're wonderful.
Yeah. So that's what my plans were as far as they had gotten with Mina.
And then the Beholder's lair happened. Not even the Beholder, the freaking lair.
Oh, that was a nasty place. There's a bunch of like insane arcane damage of things going wrong when a bunch of the magic was shut off there. People are trying to do everything. The wizard's like, no. Okay, next question. From Warren. Yes. Did you ever consider trying to work Emil's parentage into the story? I'm going to say just for the briefest of moments, yes. But I believe in our early talks, you had shared that it wasn't anything you particularly wanted. And so I decided at that point to leave it out. But I do believe that there was a moment in the Den of Consequences where Emil was like back in the whorehouse, and I had considered trying to bring some of those figures around into your story, just to see how for that immersion, kind of bring that back, maybe run into him. But of course, Emil's story took a few hard left turns, like with becoming a vampire and everything else. So it kind of led in other places. I didn't want to want to force that when you had so much going on. Yeah. Let me try and mix it up with. All right, we don't have anything yet, Steph, from Twitch. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Half donut. Oh, okay. This is for the players. So I'll just go around and call on you like in order of the boxes on OBS. Where are we? For the players, what is the most memorable moment of the campaign for either you as a person, or your character, or something that you witnessed happen to another character within that realm? What's your most memorable moment of the campaign? Frank, that starts with you in the boxes. Sorry, you're number one. No time to think. On the spot. Okay. If you need to pass, I'll pass, and we'll move along. We'll come back.
Yeah, come back, because I'm just so make somebody else number one.
Yeah, okay. Steph, you're up next in the next box.
Oh, no.
If you need to pass, go ahead and pass, and we'll wait. We'll catch someone at one point.
I mean, there's just so much memorable moments that you just cannot pick one.
It's tricky, yeah.
Oh. I mean, I guess for my character personally, and I need to think for other characters. But for my character personally, Kaylin, definitely the coffin. Getting into the coffin. That was a extremely emotional decision and emotional session. That was one of our crossover sessions.
Yeah.
And since it involved getting Ormia, I was already very emotional. And then that came up and I was like, okay, well, here we go. So,
yeah, I can see that. That was impactful. I remember being like, oh, because I love creating like, moral issues in that, but this was more like a, build up. That build up from that moment when you were drinking with Mort on the ship after Brixie's death and like, just calling out for, I need to be stronger, I need to protect.
Yeah.
And I knew that, okay, that's going to be Thaz.
Yeah.
And building all the way up to that moment when that's, exactly what he wanted. Like, here's your choice. It's the kid or you, the other person or you. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kaylin I would make the same decision now, just because it's what Kaylin would have done. Like, because she trusted the voice at the time and impeccably.
Yeah.
Just like, it hasn't steered me wrong so far.
Until you got into the coffin, I think. And then it was like...
And then, I got in the coffin and as soon as she started speaking, I was like, oh, shit.
On that note, actually, I have a question for you, Steph. So how did you build Kaylin after you got rid of Thaz? Like, instead of the warlock levels? Like, obviously you took psionic levels, but
I took all psionic levels in fighter. I feel like that was a mistake. I felt very non-powerful at the very end, even at level 18, 19, like just because I had 3 attacks, but there just wasn't a lot of oomph other than like the psionic powers, which helped, but I felt like compared to some of the other builds, like it wasn't as powerful as it could have been. But I thought that the psionic levels, there wasn't really anything else that I could see Kaylin like picking up, and just staying with the fighter. And the psionic levels to me made sense as kind of like a leftover bit of like Thaz, so psionic fighter all day, all the time, all the way up to 18, 19. So
cool.
Dang. All right. Over to Mariah then. You're next. What was your biggest moment from the campaign, if you had to try and pick one? Most memorable moment?
Only one? Like I said before, there's so much. Like, you can't choose one because everybody had such memorable moments. Oh gosh.
A lot of amazing role players playing together. Yeah.
I think if I had to do for both my characters, for Brixie, it was just learning who her father was, because I've said this before in previous like side discussions off stream, that I basically didn't mention anything about Brixie's dad in the original backstory that I written down. It was just like that was written in on the plane to Australia too, and I was just like, I had a clear vision. I was like, all right, this is what I give. This is what I know about Brixie. That's it. And I trust you. Gotta trust your DM, because your DM will give you a huge surprise and lo and behold. But yeah, learning for Brixie, learning who her father was and finding her mother too. That was just like a pivotal moment for Brixie. For Rain, oh gosh, I think it was just our last session that when they came back to the Shadowfell, and that it was just I felt as a player, am I sad that our campaign has ended? Yes, but that just, I think seeing their progress from being a child, human, just that's
nice. Okay. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad it wrapped up nicely then for you. That was fun. Oof, man, I miss playing. Ed, you're up next. What was your most memorable moment for either you, your character, or another person's character?
Sure. Let's just do a machine gun round through the characters.
Nice.
I think the most memorable moment for Felix was in the early days during the Den of Consequences, where we talked offline, Dan, and you let me basically sell my armor and then use the funds to buy the wakizashi for Astrid, that's character at the time. And then the reveal there was pretty fun.
Yes.
And then for Galathor, probably one of the most memorable moments was the engagement scene, I would say.
That's what I was gonna say too for Aaronwood.
At his mom's workshop.
So cute.
Galathor's story kind of took a turn from what I had intended, but that was a good moment there.
Not sorry at all.
Okay.
And then for Garrick, let's see. Yeah, Garrick's, I don't know. Just the idea of his character was just a lot of fun. He really didn't have very much to lose, and just didn't really care too much about anything. So he was just there for the ride.
Yeah.
Bless Garrick.
Yeah, I know.
I loved Garrick.
I just to touch on that, 'cause I keep thinking of the Garrick moment in the alleyway, which is like blew away like 4 people in 2 rounds, obliterated them. Yo, this dude.
So I have a question for you, Ed. Why did you create Garrick after you created Galathor? Because I've always have been curious. I was like, was Galathor wasn't fun, or was he not the right build that you intended for Galathor?
Yes, the story behind Galathor was that he was supposed to be an in-between character because Felix got petrified.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then everybody ended up leveling up, and then we got Greater Restoration or something like that. And then,
Grixie brought and petrified Felix. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so instead of being able to play Galathor, basically Felix came back and it got a little bit weird. And then again, Galathor's story took a weird turn as well. So I swapped Garrick in. And Garrick came from a character concept I had for a little bit. And then his backstory was something I was writing into like a homebrew campaign.
Oh,
as
nice.
an NPC. So yeah, just mashed a couple things together and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, very. That's awesome. I as I was answering the questions, I did come across in my head. I can't remember if I put it in. I think it was one of my moments. It might be this question. I forget. I was putting in notes on my thoughts, and one of them was that moment where, because you bought that weapon from Jinx, the like half ogre, whatever he was, weapons salesperson. But I love the exchange, the battle, like the contest of strength with Astrid, and then that fell out like this pivotal epic moment. And like, like, yeah, that's for you. Like, and it was such amazing timing. It was so perfect. It was so cool because I didn't realize it was going to happen then either. But the way that, like, when she won the acrobatics or whatever it was, the grapple challenge, and you were like, and this falls out, and I'm like, oh yeah, so psyched.
Yeah.
Okay, Warren, you're up next. What is your most memorable moment from the campaign? Oh, you might be muted. Sorry. Maybe? Okay, sorry.
That's why I asked. See if we get the mic working here.
And if you need to pass for now, let me know. We'll just come back around.
Testing?
Oh, yep, I can hear that.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I feel like we've maybe had this discussion before, but I'll go back to episode 72, Arzamon. We're negotiating with the was she a devil? Arzamon, a demon? And we were trying to negotiate on behalf of Brixie, and there was a lot of great role play in that session. Several people offered things that were really important to them to help Brixie's story progress, but I think the one that blew me away was when Blueberry basically offered the only clue she had on her life quest, which was her master's spell books. That just was such a huge sacrifice. It was amazing.
And if my memory serves me correctly, I feel like Brixie, because Brixie knew that that was important to Blueberry. Like, I think I rolled a high enough perception or in some sort of check to find the page of Blueberry's master in it before Blueberry gave the book to Arzamon. I think that's what happened. Because if we didn't check the book,
there were 2 pages that had been written in that were new,
familiar,
and so we pulled those out and then stitched them into Blueberry's hat.
Yeah. Somebody made a check. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was me or what.
Because for you, right.
If we didn't, we probably wouldn't have found his master. I think that's what was being thrown. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Been a while.
The Blueberry's master wrote those pages when Blueberry was looking in the mirror. Blueberry's master reflection took the book out and wrote them in the book and placed them in. But yeah, that was such an epic moment. I remember just like my heart going boom, and you should write things up and they're like, yeah, this will be a challenge, and then it's like, oh no, I wasn't expecting that. Alrighty. You ready, Frank? You good?
Yeah,
okay, fire away, Frank.
My honorable mention will dovetail into Sam.
Okay.
2 big ones. The first one I always had mixed emotions about because I kind of took a choice away from somebody, and I wanted to just check in with that person to see what they would have done. Kaylin's parents. The time bubble.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
And Mort being in, his overthinking Mort ways, didn't want Kaylin to enter into some sort of paradox world, where she meets her pregnant mother. So he sort of like, hugged Kaylin and sort of prevented her from going through the bubble. And it was like, it was just, I liked what Mort, at the time, I liked what Mort did. Was a very touching, like, these are letting her know these are her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but I always felt like, I sort of stepped in the way there I should have, given her the choice of going in there or not.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing Kaylin at the time, if she would have seen them in there, she no doubt would have just went to them.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
So you probably made a good call.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
What would have happened, Dan, if she would have went through?
Yeah.
If someone would have went through that door?
Well, the bigger question: what the hell did you have planned for that anyway?
Yeah, Dan, what was it?
Also, where
Don't make that face.
Also, where did the actual door frame end up?
Yeah,
because I think
Steph, write the door frame question down so we can get that one after. Like who got it, and I'll go over that.
So which question about
who got the door frame? Yeah, because I'll get too many questions ahead and I'll forget.
Who got the door frame?
I think it was Ormia who grabbed the door frame when she attacked
the
keep.
I got it.
And then you gave it to a couple to Shadar Kai. Okay, so initial question was, what would have happened if Kaylin went through? Yeah. Okay. Well, that would have come down to the dice because that is not a stable thing. And I believe I'm pretty sure I had someone roll at least. I think it was a D100. I think there were like 2 rolls, but at least one that was a D100. I think. And yeah, it could have brought you to the time that Mort was just in. It could have brought you to a time when that frame didn't exist. And there you would turn around. You could have gone into like dirt, or into a future time. It could have turned into a bunch of things. Now those windows are a little smaller than than the norm, because I don't want to set you up for failure either. If you'd gone through and engaged with your parents, I probably would have had it be that sort of thing where you can chat with them at some point in their lives. Be like, wait a minute, this is the person as they're rearing the other you.
Yeah.
But I do love my timey-wimey things. So.
And then it turns into a Star Trek episode.
Yes. Yeah. The biggest danger would have been, in my notes anyways, is the return. Because that could have blown out and done some, had some effects on. I had a table of effects of half of Calderul with what would have happened. It was like a D100 table, but I broke it down by 8s, and then there was I forget how we divided it up, but there were things that could have time alteration things, decay, of inorganic materials. Just damage, straight up damage to people. Just a number of things. It could have alerted other people to the use of this thing. Some bigger other forces. There was some other things in there. It's like, well, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So overall, knowing all the options of things that could happen, probably the right call. It would have been risky. Sure. The chances of you getting in, engaging with your parents, and having a nice moment and getting back would have been probably below 15 to 20% best, without something going wrong.
And how it worked out was beautiful. With Mortimer hugging Kaylin and her just kind of seeing her mom over his shoulder. Yeah. What was the other question? You asked something too, Frank, right?
Well, first, what was that room there for anyway?
Nice.
Before I screwed up its purpose.
That room was, gosh, we never went into it. So I'm trying to remember what it was. It was set up as I don't know, in my head, I picture sort of a speakeasy, right? Where you've got this outlaw stuff.
The basement, yeah. Yeah. The fight club, yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a research and a safe place for people to use magic that was brought in from, outer places. Back when her parents were there, it was still, they hadn't had very like, thousands of years ago, before the time of troubles, whatever, they made like the finest armor with that, you know, the Raystar Forge when they knew where it was and operated it and everything else. And then, you know, that was removed as an option in the time of troubles, and they lost all knowledge of where it was and everything else. So for a couple thousand years, they haven't had any outside trade. They became really like, not quite xenophobic, but you know, they're on their island. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want people coming in willingly or knowingly. So Caitlin's parents were much more progressive and like, this isn't a healthy thing. There's so many advancements if we talk with the outside world. And I guess I can drop some of this. So Caitlin's parents knew where the Raystar Forge was. They had used it to produce the goods that they were traveling to the elven continent of Winyan Dor to sell when they were attacked, because knowledge got out from an inside member that they had these. They used to trade with the elves all the time because they had this sort of weaponry, and they were like looking for a new future for Caldarul, one that let them work with other nations and restore the glory and all of that. And a lot of that came to be from finding the Raystar Forge and there were expeditions to find it, all done from the basement. At one point, they even had, gosh, who was it? Was it Tensor's signature in there, or was it?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, they even had Tensor in there as part of this operation, and that was something that he was tinkering with. It wasn't, you know, they were aware of it. It really wasn't something that was working in any sort of stable fashion. Long after, you know, the dad passed and the mom, you know, went, kind of lost her mind and all. He was still tinkering and working on it, and then it was all but abandoned and kind of sealed up and hidden. You remember he had to find the basement a few different ways and everything else. And so, you know, I figured Tensor was like, ooh, this, ooh, that, you know, like, let's go work on these things, and then forgets about stuff. So it was there for the purpose of you know, study and everything else.
All right, and the second big moment, I guess, was the first time I got to use Wish. Was to resurrect Erwin, and was it Rain at that time? Yeah.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Group resurrection.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
And, the honorable mention as we lead into Sam. One word. Pizza.
Pizza.
Yes.
That was my other one too.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we'll bring it right over to you, Sam. We've got pizza, discovery.
Pizza. Just more going, I have this idea for a study snack. And then they became the cooks because we missed Felix so much. Pizza. And then it's just the fact that it became canon. I love that so much. So yeah, also like Ed, I have a gambit of characters to run. See, the moment that sticks out most for me for Ormia is when she took the compass and attacked Rhinewin for that. And then just that whole thing which funnily enough, that wasn't what was turning her.
Yeah.
all the way back then, it was, she still had that rune from Yathaz, so he was affecting her all the way back then there too. And then just the whole duel with what's his face, Davros. Yeah, just that whole scene where I was like, oh, I get to be awesome.
That was insane. The back and forth of that, the duel with that, and then running him through the heart. That was so amazing. All right, beautiful. How about
and then
Mina?
for Mina
in that little window there.
Oh man, honestly, I just really enjoyed playing her. Like, okay, actually my favorite moment with her was after Ormia had left the group and I was bouncing characters' ideas off of you, Dan.
Yeah.
And I was just looking through stuff and I was like, can I be a drow light cleric? Because that's funny. So you're like, okay.
Yeah, make it so.
So that somehow worked.
Nice.
And yeah, I just really enjoyed. I really want to bring her back in a different campaign because
nice.
I want to. I didn't get enough time with her.
Yeah.
And then Aaron just the pizza, the engagement ring, just just having so much fun, being slightly unhinged. Which that wasn't how I was originally going to play her. I had no idea how I was going to play her, but after you guys freed her from the tower, and then someone, I think it was Kaylin, was like, "Why is she so crazy?" Or something like that. Someone said something like that, and then I went, "That's it. That's her character. She's insane."
Nice. In lockdown here for
That's it. That was it for the next 2 years. It was insanity.
Beautiful with the billowing cape.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I hadn't billowed it in the past year. And then the just overall character moments. Basically anything Warren did as Rowan was just so
magic.
good. So good. Oh no, I had another one. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Ambrosina getting her wings.
Oh, the cool. Ritual, yes.
That was cool.
Excuse me.
I loved that session.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yes. Yep. Not a wood elf, but a Tildari. Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. What a story. All right. How about you, Melissa? What is your most memorable moment from a campaign?
There are lots, so I'm gonna try to keep it short.
No, go for it. That's what this is for.
Well, a lot of my favorite moments are like the small moments between the characters where there's conversations and this, that, and the other thing, because I find them really engaging and really great at not just like helping ourselves as people to practice our role playing and really just get the vibe of everybody's characters and get to know each other as people and characters. But I just love the small moments. Anyway, that was off on something else, but like oh, in chat, sorry you can't see my face, I'm on my phone.
We've got Devanya in the screen. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to look at my character, not me. So for Emersina, for those of you that don't know in chat, Emersina was the very first character that I played a while ago. And for her, it would have to be the wings and the path of discovering who she actually is and where she came from, because she didn't know any of her lineage or anything like that. Like, she had no clue that she had like ties to royalty and all this other stuff, and like it was just like, holy crap. So like the wing moment was like, oh my gosh, like this is real. And I remember being so extra with that because I was like, wait, I have a lamp, let's do like light effects.
That's awesome. Yes. Yes.
And the whole royalty thing, was that a thing that you planned or that Dan came up with, or you guys did together?
We did it. I think I had it. It was together because we did a lot of talking, but I had already actually planned it out in her backstory. So for her as a character, she had no clue. So I had to play dumb.
Yeah, they came from a far west, such and such. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and we kind of just talked about it through, and I added more stuff, and then all this other things, because it was my first ever character. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. And
well,
so I learned along the way, and he did too. So it just kind of melded together in the end. And then when she first met the king at Iverness, I keep wanting to say Iverness or Iverness.
Iverness, but either way.
Iverness.
You run it. You say it whatever way you want. Yeah.
And she meets him for the first time, and she is like, I want to absolutely kill him. She goes to attack him. She tries to, and realizes that, she can't do shit right now, but
he's a 20th level rune child too.
That was video fee.
That was a moment for Eredwin. That was fun. That whole scene was great.
It was so funny. It was so great. It was amazing. And for Devanya, I think the biggest changing moment, and I think I am all about characters that are not just a reflection of them, but a reflection of my life.
Yeah.
Because you all know that I was going through a lot with M and then Devanya and all that stuff. So it's kind of a reflection of me. And I don't know if anybody else plays that way. So for Devanya, the moment when she was imprisoned and she was caught, it was a moment where she had to really, really sit down and be alone for the first time in a while. And literally, she did not have anybody to blame but herself because of her actions. She didn't have somebody else to pinpoint anything on. She had to sit down and be like, this is my fault. It was on me. I messed up. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. I'm literally about to die.
Yeah.
That was a scary moment.
A moment where she couldn't blame anybody else. She couldn't blame Mal. She couldn't blame her parents. She had to take responsibility for something that literally is and was her fault and suffer the consequences for it. And and then the small moments of conversations with everybody's characters of, oh my gosh, she figured out she liked donuts. She figured out she liked pizza. This pizza thing is so freaking cool. And the conversations with Rain and taking the time to actually understand somebody who is different than her instead of, because she is a celestial being. So taking the time to actually be like, I do not need to have harm come upon anybody because of who they are. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're all still together and we're all friends and we're all still trying to have good come into this world. And just, the vampirism, she had to take the time to understand that.
Yeah.
And, just having a different viewpoint and being in the group really opened her mind up to all these different things. And then I think as a person, one of my favorite conversations was with Devanya and Kaylin. When Kaylin asked Devanya to come with her and, to see stuff and everything and to just kind of have a separate conversation, and Kaylin opened up a bit to Devanya, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is kind of like a small turning point for both of the characters, because Kaylin was very has always been like, I got this, I'm good, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. But underneath that, I think Kaylin in that moment realized that it's okay to let your guard down just a little bit, allow people to kind of like in the same way that Devanya was working on it for herself. And I felt really honored that Stephanie chose my character to have that conversation with, because I was like trying so hard not to cry.
Oh, yeah.
I was so surprised, and I was just like, wait, I didn't expect this. What's going on? Feeling
That's beautiful.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
For real.
Oh, there was so much that.
Just love it. And I love all the small conversations between the characters, like no matter who they are. Like it just, I like it a lot.
Nice. That's beautiful. Oh, there really are so many heartwarming and epic moments. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Next question from Steph. What happened to Malo, the luck dragon? She asks angrily. I'm just kidding.
That's right. He restored himself and then kind of left for a little. I think he just left. I don't think he ever came back.
He did. He came back and he went back on who accepted him back?
It was Aaron.
In fact, there were some cool things that he had too that no one ever used. Those little bones.
Reroll. It was a reroll. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I even have it written on my sheet.
So in his in their adult form, they were like a really fast outdoor only mount that could carry like 12 people.
Wow.
Yeah. They didn't like indoor space. It's too cramped. They wouldn't go underground. They wouldn't go any of that stuff. But outdoors, they could. So
you're saying that outdoors we could have used Malo for 12 people to go really fast.
Yeah, to like you know.
F. Can we get F's in the chat?
Can we just go back and fix some things in the campaign, please?
Teleport.
Let's
retcon spells we can get back.
Retcon some alternate universe of Stormfall.
Yes, in another alternate universe, Mal was used extensively after that. But Malo,
I don't think you ever told us that. Like you told us about the one use of luck reroll, but like nothing else. I don't think we ever anything else we never found out.
Maybe I feel like I was super excited for y'all to get Malo back because of that. So I'm pretty sure I said something, but it's entirely possible. It's me. I could have blanked on that.
We also didn't really try to interact with Melos after he came back.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like.
Well, you had so much going on, right? That was around the time of I think you getting unbound and stuff, or just after, just before. But they went on to live out on their own in the coming years after the campaign ends, and they even found their way to the Feywild after some time and had a whole baby family factory there. A little family of
family factory.
Yeah, they're just that's how the luck dragons go. They're like rabbits.
Oh, jeez.
But they have a whole little safe area of their own.
Nice.
Steph has another question. This one not spoken angrily. Is Kaylin's mother? Oh, sorry. What's that? Someone have a question? Nope.
Oh, I think she was expressing of it not being spoken angrily.
Oh, nice. Is Kaylin's mother still alive? Steph asks. Yes.
Where was she? Was she findable? She findable?
I plan on making this a one-shot, so I can't say much more. For those that are going to be interested of our group, I've got like 3 or 4 different things that I want to visit, which I think is an answer to a question later on, but I'd like to go with a little bit of plot armor for characters, of course.
Damn it, Dan.
Have a one-shot that deals with that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Spicy.
Next question is from Cookie Mandius. Is Cookie here tonight? No,
I haven't seen Cookie in chat.
Okay. They're at probably at Pyro Club because I think they're having their last session tonight.
Okay.
No. Is it also like a campaign wrap up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I get that. Oh, I hope they have fun.
I love cookies. They're awesome people.
It's so funny. Okay, so they ask me, did you ever think about a TPK? Yes and no. No.
Can I interrupt for
Yes. Hi. Hi, cutie.
Hi.
Oh, night. Sleep tight.
It's like bedtime.
Nice.
What's a bedtime?
Eucalyptus. Yeah, did I ever think about a TPK? Yes and no. No, I don't DM with the style of let's force a possible TPK. I don't like that. I like challenging things. And that sometimes with story and levels and things means a deadly challenge, but I don't ever want a TPK. I don't want anyone to die.
See, I literally thought like at times that we were actually like going to TPK. Like
oh, yeah.
the last session. Like I was ready for it just in case.
That's my yes part of the answer, because like the Baron fight is the closest that I ever got to like being seriously worried. Because if Baron didn't want to just get out of there, like in whatever he had planned, I know he was saying he's gonna go have brunch with his wife, which is Raya, you know. But whatever he was like, I'm out of here for whatever reasons. I mean, I know what reasons. He wanted to not be around when Yathaz realizes that he took one of his what do you call it? The phylacteries and is bouncing. But also his other plans, he would have, I feel like he could have gone through and kill everyone.
The Leviathan fight was pretty close too.
Which one?
Leviathan.
Oh shit, right. Oof. You all have been through some scary fights.
Oh, it has been 4.5 years.
Yeah. Holy shit.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah. I mean, so there's plenty, and there's times like that are really close, and other times where I'm like building out and like it's deadly, we'll see, and the battle starts, I'm like, oh, you know, some negative rolls come in, you know, some low rolls and stuff, and like, oh my gosh, and I get worried. But it seems that, you know, thankfully, you know, the players are really, really on point. Everyone's very sharp and typically finds a way to persevere. I feel like more so than the threat of death is a threat of conditions or afflictions. Like petrification, disintegration, you know, things that you just can't.
We could have easily taken the Baron if he didn't keep stunning 3 of us in one round.
Oh yeah,
we could have easily taken him down if it hadn't been for that. It's just
that's part of his go-to. Yeah.
How many phases of the boss fight we had to go?
I don't know. I don't agree.
His main form with that, he's got a sword that is like from a high ranking what are they, like Balrogs basically, you know, they're like the party, remember the party whip there, or the party sword,
the pit fiend,
the birthday party pit fiend. It's like that, but that pit fiend's like highest ranking boss. He
party
deals
with something entirely different, Dan.
Yeah.
Party. You think of the word party. But...
That's awesome. He's been alive for so long, so I always try and factor in like the reality, like the fantasy logic kind of stuff into it. So he has been around a very long time. He deals with, you know, like import export, right? He's tons of magic items and everything else. Very seedy operations, weapons trades. He's just a nasty person. But he's got, if you recall, oh wait, no, I don't know if you all were never in his home, right? That was Kier's Lament crew. He had all these weapons and cases, old firearms and stuff. There's like a handful in the world, like 24 firearms in the whole of the world. And he had like 8 of them.
And Dormia had 2.
Yeah. That was so fun. Yeah, so, you know, I worried about it a lot. I did, because, you know, as a DM, you try and find that balance, and sometimes that balance, you want it to be in that deadly, other times just dangerous, but you know, the higher level everyone gets, the more magic items are like another factor, and you just don't know, am I pushing this too hard or not hard enough?
And then the dice can also just throw the balance out the window.
Yeah.
A lot of dice jail has happened.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot about that Leviathan. But yeah. Okay. Oh, this is really good, but this is from Warren. Did the players go into the campaign with an idea or policy with regards to inter-character or character to NPC romance? And how do you feel those romances were handled? Yeah, it's true, because we had some inter-party. We had a little bit of NPC, of course, with just Sarah and Fenhold and others. How do you feel if you participated in an NPC relationship or a PC to PC relationship?
Raise your hand if you.
Do you feel like, what were your did you have an idea or sort of like a policy in mind going into it, and how do you feel that the romances were handled? I guess we'll start with Steph, since you're in the first box, and I know you were taking care of Fenhold hardcore, so.
Woo. Taking care, that's right. Yeah, I think it was fine. I mean, I don't think that there was too much discussion between me and you. I think that I messaged you and was like, hey, this happened like one time in specific. I was like, hey, this is kind of how Kaylin's feeling about Finn, and she's going to kind of say this next session, just so you know and you're prepared. That was when she was going to kind of confess her feelings, and she confessed her feelings to Fenhold Brewer at the time. But like, you know, but yeah, I think I was just like, hey, this is, you know, and just kind of left it up to Dan to be like how Fenhold, you know, how Brewer would have, you know, would respond.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, and I mean, it worked out fine. Out fine. So yeah.
How about Galathor and processing Erwin? Dude, so many characters.
Personally, I feel as like with any PC to PC interaction, be it romance, fighting, you know, working on a magic item together, both parties or all parties need to be okay. Like the players behind it need to be all on the same page and all on board with the general-ish direction that they want to take it. Ed and I talked a lot.
Nice, I mean,
nice.
Yeah, going on what Sam said about keeping across it, like with other player-to-player like character love interest, like for Emil and Brixie, like
Brixie and Emil, that's best.
Like I was in constant contact with Warren. I was just like, do you think this is gonna work? Because like in real life, you have to have consent between player to player with what their character wants.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what because I've heard horror stories between like,
oh my gosh,
between players and DMs not.
Sorry. I looked over at Zoom. It popped up. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, Dan. But it's just like the horror stories that you hear about love interests and like you just have to keep them constant, because if they don't want to pursue it, then you just quit.
Yeah.
Because it's just basically, but like I'm just rambling because my brain is just shot from today.
No, it's fine.
As in any real life scenario, communication is key.
Yes.
Thank you. That's where I was getting at.
Nice. Ed, how about you? I mean, same thing pretty much, I guess. I don't want to leave you out, but I also, you know, if it's been said.
Yeah, for the most part. There was an interesting development where I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
That's typical.
Well,
real life.
Oh, I rewound it back and figured out what happened. I missed 2 sessions, and stuff happened in the relationship that I did not do.
Oh no! Oh, oops! Was that me? Sorry.
So
shame on Dan.
A lot.
Communication, Dan, between players.
Yeah. You know what?
This is why we don't have Dan roll for our character.
For real. Yeah, I'll make a note. Shame on me. I don't know what I was thinking to jump into someone's relationship to role play. I'm so sorry.
I know what you were thinking. Yeah.
No, I mean we were pretty deep into it at that point, so I just kept rolling with it. And it turned out okay, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, though, Ed. So I'll just, that'll stay here, and I'll make sure. In my heart, make sure I'm more careful.
I mean, when you're to the DM, you just got to make sure your ships are canon.
Yeah. Nice. Warren, how about you? If you have anything to add.
I came in not thinking that this is something that would happen, that I would do, just maybe because I just didn't know anybody, and you just don't know. But the players were all, like everybody said, just there was a lot of open communication. So
nice.
And I feel like romances didn't really happen until we all became closer friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's because it would have been awkward.
Yeah.
It's awkward with strangers.
Yeah. I also think it fit the story in Emil's case, and I don't think he was ready until that point. So
yeah. That's in one of my answers later too, where you held hands in the church and I was... Okay, sorry, go ahead, Mariah.
I mean, all I was gonna say, it's just open communication, because between Warren and I, he was I wouldn't think that Emil would be in a relationship, and I was like, well, we'll see how this goes, and if you still feel that way, we can just stop. But again, it's just like everybody said, it's just open communication between players.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. I'm going to take one of our Twitch questions. Steph is not following the format. Steph.
What?
See, it's parentheses with the name of the person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm totally teasing you.
Come on, Jonathan. You can't do that. You can't do that. You've asked too much of Steph today.
I know. I'm entirely teasing. Yes, from Jonathan. So this will be a question I'll go around and ask each person. Were there ever moments that you were envious of another character? A moment where you were like, oh, I wish my character was more like that character, or vice versa. A moment where you were glad your character did not have to put up with another character's situation. We'll start with Frank.
That's a good question.
Totally teasing, Steph. Thank you for all your help. You're the best.
I think I could pretty much put out a global statement that we were all at least Mort was, and certainly envious of Kaylin's determination.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes along with the second half of the question. Didn't want to be put in that situation.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, especially stepping into a coffin and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or picking up a skull.
Yeah, or stuffing a body in a bush. But we couldn't go a whole stream of that.
This is your life, Kaylin edition.
Yeah,
nice.
Thanks.
We wheel a bush out onto the stage. Yeah, but I mean, there were times, Devanya and stepped up and did some incredible things. It's yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This is hardcore trooper. Steph, how about you?
Not wanting to be in their situation, I would say probably Devanya with her hometown, with the town, and that just seemed, as a player, nightmare. or as a player, I guess, experiencing it, like it just seemed like a nightmare, you know, like for a character to have to. I mean, it was very moving and it was a part of her story, and I'm glad that it happened. But yeah, looking at it, I'm just like, oof, that was rough. It was a rough situation.
It's like, yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. As far as, I guess, going the other way, you know, given all that Kaylin, you know, that happened, I guess, like, in a way, kind of going off of I guess returning what, you know, what Frank said about, you know, Kaylin, I think, you know, I kind of, you know, I would kind of say that I envied like Mortimer's, like, just peacefulness, kind of like a very peaceful presence to Mortimer that Frank gave him, which I think is why Kaylin kind of, you know, would talk to him a bit about things and confided in him, because it was very peaceful. He never judged. He never, not saying that everyone else judged, but, you know, and very wise. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That level-headed, cool, tactical, chill vibe. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, all the things put together very, you know, in a melodious fashion.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Mortimer was the type that if a voice was like, "Do you want power?" he would be like, "No, no thanks."
He did, in fact.
He actually did do that.
Yeah. I told I pretty much, what was my other pet peeve with that? Like, thank God I never have to listen to Shar again.
Nice, yeah.
Go away.
That's
Can't
amazing.
you take no for an answer?
And Kaylin was like, "Please, yes, give me power."
Amazing. Mariah, how about you? If you're there, if not, we'll jump down and come back.
Hang on, I was grabbing a book.
Okay. Understood.
Interesting.
Let's see. I don't think any of my characters, like between Brixie, had like any in character whatever
Envy.
Envy or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone your characters are like?
Just,
oh, go ahead.
I think it was just like, I don't know, but the situation between Kaylin with the whole Baron situation, I feel like Rain was like a little bit glad that they were in that situation, but also Rain was that type of person that she would they would do anything for their friends.
Yeah.
So
right, that's sweet.
So yeah.
Okay.
I get, there's no character envy with Brixie. Brixie was just the happy-go-lucky tiefling.
Yeah,
like
what the kitty cat fan.
And I regret.
Nice.
Hey now. But like, but I feel like this is gonna be us, but player regrets not listening to Erwin when Aaron said it was a sea monster, because I felt so bad.
Oh, that's in one of my answers later too. Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And it's just like a little bit of me still was put into Brixie.
It's okay. I'm used to people not listening to me.
Well, I've learned.
He's like teasing you, Mariah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, the conversation like when Erwin and Brixie died. But Rain died. I learned my mistakes because I'm still learning. This is like the first true group I have finished a campaign with, and I can't read people's signals.
I think that you, as a player, you know, have come quite a ways with being able to recognize that and manage and everything else along with everything. I'm super proud of, because that's a tough thing to do. You know, especially if you struggle with, you know, that sort of thing in general, it can be really tough. But I think you put a lot of effort into it and really, really come a long way with it. So kudos to you, Mariah, for all the hard effort and work you put into that. So. Right. Boop. Sorry, I blanked. I was in the Mariah hype train. Ed, how about you? Envious at any point, or like, nope, don't want to be them?
Yeah, no, I don't think I was really envious of any particular player or character's story. I think we all had our own unique threads, and they all worked really well together. As far as like regrets, though, I do feel a little bit bad about what happened to Emil's the Harper storyline. Yeah, I think we could have handled that a little bit better, but I think we all learned and grew from that as players after that moment.
Right, and Miranda there, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's, you know, what it's all about, right? I think that's one of the really beautiful benefits of a long-term campaign is that you cover so much ground that you're able to find, you know, areas where, you know, experience new things and learn from those, like that. Okay, Warren, how about you?
No, not really, although I should probably point out that Felix was just the coolest damn character.
I know.
Like, great art, great theme, like, just so much fun to play with.
Yes. The weapon, I remember you saying what the weapon was, and you're like, yeah, and it's gonna, you know, it's like a lamplighter's thing, but I'm using it as a pole arm, it's got that, and I'm like, yo. It already broke my little box. I had like thoughts of characters in. I'm like, okay, all right. That and the sploosh, the hair. Yeah, Felix is dope. Just to ask, if you're willing to share, you know, at one point, I remember Felix becoming a bit fearful in that fight with Brixie, if I recall correctly. Is there anything in particular that made you want to kind of retire Felix or have him like be done with the adventuring life?
Yeah, the way that turned out was after he got petrified and after was it Erwin's? Yeah, it's like Erwin's death, the petrification, all that other stuff.
And Ormia.
Sorry. You know,
one of those characters.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't even remember the names of my own characters.
Yeah.
It just became a lot for Felix,
yeah.
And he like kind of low-key suffered from a little bit of PTSD, I think. So he just needed to find a different path.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful, and I feel for Felix. Poor guys. Oh. Okay. Neat. Sam, how about you? Anything envious of anyone or like suckered anyone?
I wish we could have done more with Beth in general, like Kershu living on the other side of the planet, because she was so much fun to play with.
Yes.
Like, I really wish we could have done more with like the Felix and Astrid line there, because that was going cool places.
Yes.
And then just Blueberry being Blueberry, just the epitome of adorable.
Yeah.
And one thing Erwin really wanted to do was ride on a bear like Felix did. Riding like a king. That was cool.
That's funny.
It's in my notes as canon that every king of Bexley thereafter rides in astride a king.
Astride a bear.
Yeah,
or astride a king.
Bear.
I mean, whatever.
It's just a really like hairy guy that's like really big and
That was when Brixie was still alive. I forgot about that.
It was.
Gotta have the lightning stick.
Forgot about that.
Lightning stick.
That's awesome.
But the things that I really liked was whenever we had a chance to, which wasn't very often, but whenever we had a chance to interact with deities, like especially Aaron Wynn going through the whole thing with Mistra and everything. I loved that so much.
Nice. Okay.
It was that whole storyline and like the challenges and everything. That was so much fun.
Oh, good.
I just had a blast with that. Probably just because my character was center stage in the limelight, and I was like, I get time to do things.
Yeah.
I'm an attention whore.
Awesome. I get it. Yeah.
Me. But like no, just like that whole thing was fun. Like in that whole, just kind of bringing her character back in. So I'm really glad that like she found her place.
Yeah. Good. Nice. All right. Melissa, how about you? Any time you were envious of another character or like really relieved you didn't have to be that other character?
Well, I have a list.
Nice.
I'll just kind of go down it real fast.
Sure.
Mort, Devanya was definitely envious of your magical skill. Because there were some things that she had never seen before, and she would love to absolutely learn from you. And she would not, this is, I don't know. Sorry, I'm thinking about it. But
yeah.
But at this it's gonna sound so bad. But she would not want to be as low to the ground.
No.
Not to be a short.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness. Kaylin, M was like really saw your strength, and M wasn't really an envious character, but she did regret leaving. And I know in real life at that time I had to leave for reasons, but like Emersina was always regretful of leaving the group at that time because she felt like things were going on and all that other stuff, and she was like, when she came back she was like, what the hell happened? Like and she would definitely not want to be in your position with the skull. But Devanya was really envious of the way that you carried yourself, the way that you were always so sure, and even if you had like maybe a small doubt, sometimes you'd express it and sometimes you wouldn't. You were just always adamant about, you knew what you knew, this is what you're doing, like you knew yourself, like and she also would not want to be in the position of the whole coffin situation because she was like, what the heck, like why? And oh gosh, let's see. Okay, Felix, I think both my characters were a little jealous of his cooking skills because
sure.
Me in real life, I don't mind cooking, but I hate cooking. I like people to cook for me, not gonna lie. Let's see, Galathor, Devanya was more, I wouldn't say jealous, but intrigued about the way that you portrayed your character, in that he was so zealous for his path with his religion and his faith and everything, and even with all the things going on, and she was really curious about that and kind of wanted to learn more about it. And the woodworking jokes, I can't.
Nice.
That was the best part. Gosh, let's see. Brixie. I love you, Mariah. So I think, did M met Brixie, right?
Oh yeah, like Brixie
was for a good amount of time. Like,
yeah,
I took such a break with M, like, so my brain is like muddled. But M absolutely, like, M adored Brixie. So she wasn't really like like Brixie isn't really like the jealous, like envious, like, oh my gosh, blah 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 type. So and with Devanya and Rain, she kind of, she wishes she had a little temple tent. And that was the biggest thing. I know that's like kind of weird, but like she kind of wishes that she could like pop a temple anywhere she goes. For Sam's character, Erin Wynn, especially with Devanya, the number one thing was she was kind of jealous. And I think for Devanya, this would be like the first time like she's jealous of somebody, because Erin Wynn is so outspoken and Erin Wynn is so animated and so charismatic, and while Devanya also has a bit of charisma, like she kind of lost it. And so with her little chats with Erin Wynn, she was like, how can you be so charismatic and everything? And but she realized, and she learned from Erin Wynn as well, that it's okay to be that way. Like it's not going to negate all the stuff that's happening, but like it's okay to talk to people.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hate people. For M, I think for Emersina, the one regret was not doing more after Ormia's death.
Oh. Yeah.
That whole ordeal. And there was half a second when I was playing her where she was feeling kind of envious of the way that Ormia can have like this power, and but she knew that it had consequences. So I think that kind of, now that I think about it, played into what her decision was later.
Ooh, yeah.
With the oopsie, with the, the whole
I was
the last
here.
second. Like, oh, well, okay. Well, wait, hold on. It's not as great as they say it is. Like, I think with Devanya and Emil, Devanya would definitely not want to be a vamp. That's for sure.
Nice, yeah.
neither would Emil. And she always wanted, because there were so many conversations, like, and there's always this mystery throughout the campaign with Emil being this mysterious person and stuff like that, and everybody's trying to figure him out, and he's still like 2 steps ahead, and it's like, you fucker. Like, and Devanya was kind of like low-key, like, I want to be this mysterious cool person a little bit, but like also has a lot of wisdom, and his Emil was just like a freaking amazing character. Like, even though there were times that maybe he didn't talk very much, but at the times that he did, and the times that he said something and did something, like, it was for a reason. Like, that was the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, there's just like so many other characters that I can go on, but yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's beautiful. Well, I think that because we have a handful of questions left still, and it's 11:30, we'll take a bio break just to give everyone a few minutes. We'll figure 10 minutes like usual, and then we'll kind of regroup and tackle the rest of these questions. I don't have a BRB screen, so We'll be here. Our audio will be hot. We'll get you in about 10 minutes.
You don't have our Stormfall BRB?
I guess I could do the Stormfall one. Yeah, let's do that.
We're still Stormfall.
Yeah.
Aww,
Yeah.
yay.
There we go. All right, be right back.
Who's singing?
Me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like,
so
seriously.
Melissa, so since
Yeah.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland came out today, there was like a treasure trove, like special box, and the box had a tarot deck in it. I have to send you some pictures. They're gorgeous. Like,
wow.
Gold full. I don't know why, but I was just like, I've always been interested in tarot reading. So I bought myself a deck and I bought myself a book.
Nice.
So,
What book did you get?
yeah. It's a practical guide how to read tarot.
Nice.
Yeah. And then my supernatural deck had a book already.
I still need to get the supernatural deck.
There's one at the local books. There was one deck I could send you. I don't mind.
I'll pay you for shipping or whatever else of the cost, and
Don't worry about it.
shut up.
Don't worry about it. There was a Disney villain deck too. I may go back and get that one, but
Oh my gosh, I've seen a couple of my friends get it, and I'm just like, because I'm very like picky with my decks. Like I have to like look at the pictures and then look at the
meaning,
yeah, like what videos and pictures that people do of the deck, like reviews and stuff. Like I can't just I'm a little overboard. Like I'm so picky, but I have to like the aesthetic of it and the feel of it and all that stuff. But a lot of people are liking the Disney villains deck, and I'm like, and I've seen so many reviews about it and videos, and I'm like, okay, I would have like 100 decks right now if I could. I have so many in my like wish list. I'm just like all the pretty things.
yeah.
And then I have some that are like all the gloomy, dark things.
Wormwood has a corrupt tarot deck. Like
Wormwood?
literally, yeah, they literally got a creative director and got 86 plus artists to create the deck. And I have to send you the link. The art is just so gorgeous.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate a link because, wow, that kind of, I didn't think that they would have a deck. That's interesting.
It's called Corrupt Tarot by Wormwood.
Okay.
And Devin Rue and Titan Phoenix put their Devin Rue, who did like the map for campaign 2 of Critical Role, she did the altar, and then Titan, I'm trying to figure out what she did. She did the page of Pentacle. I made Pentacles?
Pentacles?
Yeah. She did the page. Her art is featured in the deck.
I'm a sucker for good artwork.
Yeah, and it's a corrupt deck. A bullet. Gem. Oh, I forgot about their dice.
I still have a lot of dice. Okay, hold on. I'm seeing if I can try to look this up.
if it doesn't work, I can send you the
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my goodness. That, ooh. Okay. Oh, that is gorgeous. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to save up for that.
They have options. So I think this is still they're still accepting on their Kickstarter for the deck. But hang on.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
They have so many Kickstarters. No, I'm serious. They have a Kickstarter right now. Not a shocker. For a new thing that they're calling the RPG tracking system.
Yeah.
Which is basically wood. And it has like different trackers. So you could track like your rages if you're a barbarian, like how many bardic explorations you have as a bard, hit points, etc., etc. Like getting rid of the like electronic and paper of character sheets and making it into wood. I really want to. They have a black walnut called for the brig, because I think for the next character that I might create, I just need one plate, like character, and it's magnetic, and yeah, I may get just the brig counts as a dice jail, so I may get that. But they have like their pledge.
Do you think they'll release the because I don't follow with stuff. Do you think they'll release the tarot deck by itself?
Oh yeah, I think they will. Hang on.
Because that's supposed to come out like next month, and I'm just like, oh, this is too freaking pretty to. Everybody and their mother's making a tarot deck.
Next question's a good one. They're all good questions.
So good. Dun, dun, so good.
A Pokemon tarot deck, yeah.
Just a Simpsons tarot deck.
Oh, no.
Oh, they should make a South Park tarot deck.
There you go, South.
That'd be pretty amazing. I would actually buy that because I love South Park.
Nice.
Kenny would be death.
Right, yeah, that's on point.
Kenny would be the death card, that's for sure.
Dad, kill Kenny. That's all I know from South Park.
Nice. That's all I know.
Well, I know this. I know a song that I'm not going to sing. Deals with Carl's mom. That's all I have to say. You got for those who know South Park. Wait, I don't have chat up. Jonathan, what'd you say?
He said, all I only know about tarot decks are from the Persona games.
Persona. Yeah. Hi, Coffee. No buyers for you.
Is Coffee Man here?
Yeah, you popped in.
Hi,
nice to see you, Coffee. All right, what time?
I
Yeah,
do
that looks
apologize.
better.
Oh, Steph, hang on. I don't know where you are.
Eucalyptus.
Hang on.
Eucalyptus.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
I don't know where you are on stream, but
she's in your
high
other
five.
side.
High five.
Hang on. No.
What are we high fiving?
I'll take off the BRB screen. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's on the correct side. You need the other side. Or nope, other side.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Oh, hang on.
She's not above you, Steph.
Doing this
yep,
right.
There you go. Yep, correct.
Hang on, Steph. Hang on. 1 moment.
Countdown.
Hang on. Whoa. I have to do this right. It may be a delay, but I don't care.
He said the other side, so it's your other side.
I know, but 1 moment.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I want to do this right. I don't have stream up.
Oh. I can count down for you if you want. You both do it at the same time. Yeah?
Sorry. An ad for Tiny Tina popped up. Okay. Hang on.
All right, ready? 3, 2,
is it right?
1.
Is it right?
Yeah, sorry. You are correct. You're both facing the right way. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you were just a little fast, Steph. If Brian wants to on, they got him.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Ready, Steph? 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
Yeah, perfect. Perfection. All right. Or we'll segue right back in with that because that was a thing of beauty we witnessed.
So true, so true.
Here at Madbird Streams, we struggle with our production values, but we're working on it.
Wow, Jamboree, thank you so much for all the gift subs.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jonathan.
Yeah.
What a friend.
Yeah. Thank you so much. My gosh, it's so generous.
This magic moment.
Oh, 5 subs for the high five. Oh, it's extra cute, Jonathan.
Jonathan, you get a chef's kiss.
2.
Oh gosh, half donut clip.
3. Not just wait. All right. Well, with that beautiful moment, we'll jump in. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. All right. A question from Steph. Was there anything, to me, I guess, was there anything that you had planned to happen but didn't do because of character party choices? I mean, there's plenty. I mean, there's a ton of minor things constantly shifting and changing. Oh, okay, over here. Yeah. So, I struggle with memory. There's tons more than this, but the one that leapt to my mind when I read that question was when you were all traveling through the Wildwood Thicket. Now, you'd been through a lot. You had Callie trying to help you out, but she wasn't the best. She thought she was the best. She really wasn't at, sensing other things. And you'd encountered a number of things there. At one point, you heard blades crossing, like 2 swords crossing in the distance.
Yes.
I
remember it.
No one wanted to check it out. The Steph's pointing at me really mean, aggressively. Right? I'm glad you remember it. And it was almost like you're gonna go. And I think I tried to put a damn thing in, but I'd already made everything so perilous that of course that wasn't gonna go through. It was a duel master teaching one of his students how to duel. That could have taught anyone that was proficient with any sort of sword dueling, which adds some damage and attack to the melee weapon with that. And I was so bummed. I was like, no, but okay, Dan, maybe don't make everything so perilous in the future that they don't want to, check out some other things of interest.
That would have been so cool.
I was so bummed. So that's probably the biggest thing that leapt to mind. I'm like, because you're all doing so much. You're on your way to unbind Kaelin. In the ruins of Solaria, I think it was. The sunken nation of kingdom of Solaria. And I was like, oh man, I really wanted to give some of you a boon with that. It was gonna be a fun little thing. But again, even in the moment, I was like, okay, there's too many dangerous things here in the Wildwood Thicket.
Well, that I think everyone was kind of like, we needed we were on a mission to Yeah.
Was that before or after we started the machine that was spitting out? What was it, like Titans?
It was before.
5 minutes.
I think it was before we got to that.
Oh my gosh, who? Oh, okay. So it told you, that's a really good thing I forgot. It told you to speak the name of someone, and someone spoke a name. Someone said,
I think we said Yathaz. I think we said Yathaz.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that thing creates that obsidian, you'll notice a theme. Yeah. Obsidian golem, and sends it after the person that you named to try and defeat it. And if it's defeated, a new one's created that's a little stronger than the previous, and it will continue again and again and again. I feel like you saw like the destruction of one when you got close to.
Did.
Yeah, because you know he has easily dispatched the first, but yeah, it was an interesting. I forget where I even got the inspiration for that. I was like, this would be really cool to have out here, lost in the Wildwood Thicket. Yeah. So that's my biggest one. And there's a similar question later that has a few more things, but that answers that one. Let's see. Who got the door frame from Sam? Let's tackle that. All right. Let's see. Right. So who was trying to get that at the time? That was ultimately trying to go to Yathaz. He was working through a bunch of Shatterkai. There was Shatterkai in his employ because he deals a lot with undead, and there's some subclass or class of undead that works with a Shatterkai a lot. Or that was part of Ormia's deal. That's, you know, being sent there and this and that to, you know, get that or assist in that and get that to them, and they brought it to Yathaz. I'm trying to think of the timeline because you know, there's red tape in any organization, right? You can't just go directly to Yathaz Bavar because he's sitting around in an office somewhere. And I think the timeline disallowed it to get to him in time. But it's stored somewhere along the way in the process. Where? I have no idea. Probably pretty close to, I would say, maybe I do a roll to see if the Baron was at all over that, because he would definitely hang on to that.
No, he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, another reason to hate his guts.
Yeah, let's find out. We'll say higher than 10, Baron has it. 11. So, seems to be in a storehouse somewhere. One of Baron Rexlin von Sutcliffe's many storehouses is tucked away for a rainy day.
Right.
Fun. Question from, Steph. Was there anything that... All right, this was a difficult... Because I got a little lost in understanding the question here, but...
Of course.
Was there anything that almost happened that you either wished had or really hoped didn't happen? So, I don't think that there's anything that almost happened that I wished had, because I very much... I enjoy y'all, you know, taking me along on the creative writing ride, you know, like... I like setting things up, but I'm really about the setting up and not so much like it's this. I really wish that would have happened, you know, for me anyway. But if I'm reading the other half of this correctly, something that almost happened that I really hope didn't happen.
Yeah, like that we came, like something, like it came close to happening if like we would have made other choices or did something else that you were like, that's going to be really bad if...
Gotcha. Like, well, I'm sure there's plenty of those too. But I can't think. I read that as like something that happened that I hoped wouldn't.
Or that too, sure.
Yeah. For that, I wrote Brixie's death. That was one thing that really made me super sad. We especially
made me sad too.
Yeah. you know, we had just come off the heels, of course, of you know, all this growth and discovering our family and everything else. That it was, you know, there are a few more things to unlock there too. But just Brixie from the party was really sad, and Brixie after, you know, climbing her way through all of that stuff to find out. I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot with Arzamon and the time loop stuff, and you know, the mom, the dad, yeah.
Speaking of that,
what
made you decide to do all these wibbly wobbly timey-wimey with Brixie? I've been dying to know, Dan.
Yeah. So here's how things work often. It's just a quick something like that comes up. You were in Bexley, down in one of like the little places where bombs were. Maybe even I think it was a granary, and you were in the lower level, and
disappeared for a bit.
Yeah, you went down the hall. You're like, I'm gonna smear the blood or whatever it was to summon Misop, and it was a portal. You're like, I'm stepping through. And you were going to go pursue Misop, the bug demon that was like, I can get your mom or whatever. Or, you know, your dad's looking for, or whatever it was. I don't think he said your dad, but, you know.
It was
the bug demon that had gotten in touch with all of you at one point and disappeared and said, hey, if you want to do the blood, say my name. And so you walk down, everyone was like over diffusing bombs. You're like, I'm going to head down here and put the blood and walk through. And I was like, I have zero time to figure out what's going to happen here.
And then, boom, the wings. I was like,
yeah, later in the episode, a hole opened up in the ceiling and you fell down with the wing stubs. Because I was like, I need something to happen.
No recollection whatsoever.
Yep, because I had no idea what happened. I just, you know, you walk through and I'm like, well, she'll want to come back, I imagine, to continue helping with Bexley. And we'll just, this is how we'll put a pin in that. We'll add something of interest, wing stubs, and then kind of go from there. And it was actually, you know, I had some stuff with Misop and what was going on with, you know, Dolglamos and other stuff set, obviously, because Misop had encountered Misop. But I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do with the wings and stuff. And it was actually after that, I'm like, well, let me figure out what's going on. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
we'll do
like most, like in like D&D lore, like tieflings normally don't have wings. And so like I assumed, I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, Dane has something cool planned. So Brixie's part tiefling, part whatever. And then boom. That's just history.
It was.
So.
Yep, that's where that came from.
Nice.
Dang.
It's fun. Spontaneous things happen like that sometimes, and then they become a whole, you know, linchpin piece. Yeah.
So, like, how much did you add from the initial backstory that I gave you of Brixie?
I'm sorry. How much did I what?
How much did you add on to Brixie's story from the initial backstory that I gave you?
The backstory that I got basically was Brixie and Mom, and the place that you lived, and people didn't like Brixie, and then Brixie and Mom are like, we got to get out of here. Mom sent you through to the Feywild, you know, for safety or whatever. It seemed like she was trying to say, like, go, and got you through to the Feywild, and that was it.
Well,
so everything else.
I came across my journal, my Thor journal that I've written backstory. I gotta find it again, but and okay, so like, and then you just added all that in.
Yep.
And that was it.
That's the magic. Yep. Well, the thing I like to do is like watch you play and see like what things click and don't, and then other characters that you encounter and how you act and react, and then I start like, okay, this will be really good for your character, like to have these challenges or these dilemmas and such. And yeah, I was like, you know, what's going on with all this? And I forget, you know, I was doing research on like devils and the city of brass and how things work. So the story fell in line with some of that. You know, they'll own people by their souls, you know. It's this terrible place. And I'm like, but you know, a lot of these people that were chasing him were from Dothraki, because he was like, where's the love of my life? And she was like, at the time, she was like, I'm not gonna be with you if you're owning people. That's not okay. That was that whole like conflict, and she changed the heart of a devil, your mom did. And yeah, it turned into that whole thing.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
See, good storytelling is where you let your DM do what, just give what you know about your character, give the rest to your DM. Good tip for all you aspiring players out there. So.
Oh, neat. I'm glad you liked it. Let's see. I think this question is for me, but I'll answer it, and then I'll kind of turn around and ask everyone. From Steph. Steph's applying solid questions. Thank you very much, Steph. Were there any story or character pieces that you wished you had more time to explore? For me, absolutely. I wish I had more time to explore Devonya's dealing with Mal and family, her family and such. I wish I had more time to go through that. Emil as a Harper, I wish I had a little more time to explore. Emil and Winifred, I wish I had more time to explore. Definitely, that's a big one for me. Kaylin and her mother. Mort's personal story, which we just got the glint of that was meeting his friend from Savoy.
Yeah.
That was it. That was like, 'cause I didn't know how many Zilkirs you were going to go around and tackle and this and that, and if you had been able to get there, you would have had to be some of that unfold. And of course, Baron Rexlin von Sutcliffe, like a conclusion. I would very much love. I will add that these are my ideas for our one shots with this group when we have need for that. Emil and Winifred. Yep, Devanya and family, Kaylin and her mother, and Mort's personal story, and Baron Rexlin von Sutcliffe. So those are mine. But how about each of you? I'll go around. I'll go backwards this time. I'll start with Melissa this time, just to mix it up. Melissa, are there any story or character pieces that you wished we had more time to explore?
So, of course, for Devanya, the ending of the family thing and Mal and all of that jazz, and Miranda. With M, I would say, fuck, I just had it. Oh, her relationship with her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
Talk about complex, right? Oh.
Yeah. Love-hate relationship.
Okay.
I'd say that's about it, yeah.
All right. Sam, how about you?
Mina. I wanted more with Mina. Just
that's amazing.
Because like her immediate backstory we did a little bit with, but because she was there and what's it called, but like she had so much potential.
Yeah.
And that it was literally 1 HP. It was literally 1 HP.
I felt so bad because Brixie saw it. And I wish Brixie would have done something like push Mina out of the way or what. Because I remember vividly, I think it was just the next session. No, it was during that same session. Brixie was just throwing fireballs at the dead beholder because she was growing attached to Mina, and she's like, and
forgot about that.
Yeah. I digress.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sam. That's my biggest thing is that I wish I had more time with Mina.
Okay.
I wish I had more time a little bit too to explore Turandormia. That would have been fun. I was able to do that with Kiers, but that didn't that went a way that I wasn't expecting in a way. So I wish I had been able to plot more behind the scenes and then bring the scenes forward.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fun.
Nice.
Because I feel like the one time that that you guys were fighting her, it was just kind of mismatched because we had both campaigns in at the same time. It's just like, oh, that would have been so cool to have her interaction with this group without the interference of the other group.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. That's true. I feel like one of those things that felt like a really fun idea to have like crossovers does get pretty tricky, especially with an all evil group, right? But also, I think for big moments, if I ever do crossovers again, I'm not going to have them be like big elements of either story in particular, anything that either story's been working on for a while, but more like some new thing that has to be dealt with together so that there isn't any, loss.
Like a one shot on its own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
But
okay. Just Mina.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see her again in the next. Warren, how about you? Any? No. Okay. Nice. Cool. Ed, how about you?
Sterling Sam has been a carryover, so just kind of like diving into that character a little bit more would be cool too, just because that's the common thread across everything.
Yeah. Yep. That's cool. You know what? I'm gonna add a little note in my list of one shots for Sterling.
Dan runs his own one shot of just him doing a one shot solo of Sterling Sam.
I believe that is called writing a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sterling Sam's backstory and stuff a little bit too.
Maybe we could play with that. Maybe what we could do is just like split it up into the session into like 8 pieces and have us DM a little bit for Dan.
Ooh!
Oh my gosh, it sounds amazing.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, please.
That would be fun.
Oh. That's like a whole show idea you just had it. Excuse me a second.
Steph, take a note for Dan, please.
Yeah.
Listen.
Dictated, what is it? What, dictated but not read back?
I won't do it in the right format, Frank.
It's an amazing idea.
I understand.
To have 8 people DM and 1 play. For me, yay! But in general, great show idea. Okay, had to add that to my voice memo so I wouldn't forget. That's so cool. I love that idea.
I mean, talking about one shots, the Tiny Tina's Wonderland came out today, and there is a treasure loot lore box that has an official rulebook to Tina's Bunkers and Badasses.
Oh wow!
One shot idea. So
there you go.
Nice.
I mean, sorry.
Excellent.
I'm not off track.
No. Oh, I'm going to jump to you next anyway and see, do you have any
hi!
any story or character pieces that you wish we'd have more time to explore?
I feel like I wish I would have developed Rain's backstory a little bit more. Kind of like I did with Brixie, but since I was just like, that character was just all over the place because I was just like, what do I want to do? I wanted to be a cleric, to be the support. And I was just like, and then I asked you because I had this whole concept of seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
If it was okay to be a cleric for the Raven Queen. So that's I'm going to set in a blind critical role for that, but I wanted to see ghosts.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I had. So a little bit more developed. I kind of developed a backstory a little bit for Rain, but not as developed as I did Brixie's.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
And probably for Brixie is living.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Because when we went back and told Brixie's parents that she's dead, you dropped the bombshell that she had a little sibling coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in the books. They'd already done the deed.
So to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Well, how do you feel about Brixie being able to go back and actually see her parents? And
well, I think I said like whenever we ended an epilogue, Brixie didn't want to be seen.
Oh, really?
Because of the state that she was in.
Oh my
so goodness. I think I've said, like, I feel like it's kind of like in Gargoyles, but like the kind of like the, I wouldn't say angel because she's not an angel, but watching her little brother or sister. You really didn't say what.
I have to be careful. I said at one point, and I don't remember now. And
brother.
Okay.
Brother? Okay. Just watching Brixie's little brother, thank you, Sam, grow up and kind of being like his protector in a way, but in afar. So Brixie's parents still don't know that she's alive. But I feel like
I think the party told them. Just the party told them you were alive. Well,
did you guys?
Well, told who?
Her Brixie's parents that she was in fact alive.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they know they were expecting to see you. Yeah.
Brixie Prime. Yeah.
Yeah. The OG
Brixie. That's right. But I don't think Brixie knew that the party told her parents.
I think they mentioned that when Brixie was like, "Who? I need to talk to Emil. I trust Emil," and they were like, "Your parents." I guess it was after that. Yeah. So, but they probably would have told Emil, who probably would have passed that along. But it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Well, I feel like I remember the moment between Emil and Brixie. Because one, I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared to return to a character I haven't played in a while. And two, the love interest.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel like Brixie, now knowing that, Brixie would have returned when she felt ready.
Okay, yeah. Take her time. And
I feel like when her brother was a little bit older, still watching from afar, protecting him from afar. So.
Well, I can definitely say that your parents would be super excited once Brixie was ready and reconnected, and your sibling would probably just be like, "Who's this?" and be a little shy, but after like a couple of weeks, be like, "Big sis Brixie!" like all excited.
Yeah, it makes me think of Vex and Vax with Valora.
Oh yeah. All right, Steph, how about you? Any story or character pieces you wish we had more time to explore?
Well, I
How did you mention it?
the mom thing, but because that was something that was on Kaylin's mind before the whole Euphaz
debacle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before the coffin, pre-coffin, that was something, especially when they were in Tegradoth, and
right.
I would love, and I just thought about this just now, I would love to have seen Kaylin go back like towards like the end and see her parents, like her elvish parents again. I think that they would have been very proud of her. Anyways, other than that, I would have loved to have spent more time with Aaron.
Yes. I mean, you made
Aaron.
A winner.
I loved playing Aaron.
I love to hate him.
Yeah. It was like Malo's but a little bit softer, you know, a little bit nicer.
So you're saying he was marshmallows?
A little bit more like, you know, oozing like sex a little bit. But yeah, I would have loved to have explored his story more because I had a little bit of tragedy in his backstory. That, but yeah.
Sadly, he had his back blown out once.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, no, I had a whole thing right up to where like,
yeah, you want to share?
He was in because like that was like he was a bard from the College of Whispers, and so like he did a lot of espionage for different countries and kingdoms and stuff. And in the process, he met as an elf, he met a drow male who was kind of like always on like the opposing, like you know, like trying to find out information, you know, ahead of him. And
a rival.
And you know, they kind of fell into love with each other and had a little fling and fell in love with each other. And but then I forgot I forgot like what the story was there, but he pretty much like watched him be murdered like right in front of him. But it was like he saw him being like beat pretty badly, and then he was knocked out. And then he woke up and like it was all cleared away, you know? And so it was kind of a question to me, because if I would have kept Arn of like, is he still out there? Like, is this drow that
answer, he's out there.
Oh. And so
in this moment I'm deciding, it's too romantic.
One shot. So that was his whole, and that was why like anytime that he went to places like houses that he would ask for drow, because
Oren's lost drow one shot.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam. That was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And Frank, how about you?
For a while, you know what? Mostly because of the rune child, that the 20th level rune guy who had said that he already tackled with Yathaz, I think. Yeah, and we sort of had a loose end with Emersina in Inverness. It would have been nice to try to explore that, go back there and see what was going on with all that, what happened to him, because he had in Mort's mind, he had some information, maybe clues to how do we tackle.
Gotcha.
Yathaz.
Yeah, he's old. That rune child, king and warrior, and definitely dealt with Yathaz in some other time, a couple of times when Yathaz tried to take over, because they have the most advanced magic on Astralanor there in Iverness. And I was really hoping this would come up like while Stormfall was still running, but I'll share it because it's not really a big deal for this other thing. It's a big deal for all of you.
I was wondering about that.
So I'll start by saying, so Melissa and I had like offline chats about what Emersina was going through. That terrible battle she fell off the top, in this battle with her brother, knocked off the top of the building with a slash, and fell down to the river below. You all saw that in the tower, and when it phased in and out. This, small family from like a poorer family in Iverness. They're pretty there aren't huge distinctions in that here, but they lived down in the area of town by the river, and they took her in and cared for her, even though they were trying to recover the body, confirm the death. And so again, at their own personal cost of their own personal safety, they were taking care of her. But due to some roles and some other things, she was discovered and caught, and then locked in a cage. And as I described it to Melissa, because she, playing in Stormfall wouldn't know, was suspended from a cage. It looked sort of like the underside of a mountain overhang. There was stone all around, and these cages were hanging down. beneath the rock. And that's because what she saw below was rolling black miasma, because Iverness is a floating city in the En Extremis campaign.
Ah.
What?
And I was so, there's lore that you found, like so and so struck the sword into the ground and raised these up into the sky before the great, calamity or whatever. And that's where the Omega Curtain flooded and became the Omega Sea. They saved all the cities. This, they described these winged, like they treat them like angelic winged creatures. It was the Tildari from ages ago, in the time of trouble, when that whole quadrant was flooded. And so, yeah, Tildari is on the other side, which you already knew based on the time of day, but it's a floating city in En Extremis.
Dang.
A floating island.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So she was hanging below one of the cities in the cages, like looking down at the rolling Omega Sea below. And I was like, oh, if they go over and find her, if they're like, let's go check on her, and they'll see, and I'll be like, oh, it's in an Extremis quadrant. But it didn't happen. So I know, Steph, you're in the other campaign, but I think it's not worth like saving for En Extremis, because they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
But here, yeah, that was one of the little exciting things that was helping. I'll find, but I get to share here, so that's fine. Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry, Frank. Did you get to successfully answer? I've lost track now.
Yeah, Inverness. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's so much there. They're just this ancient civilization. And yeah, it would have been fun. There's definitely a lot going on there. I mean, it's all cleaned up now. Emersita got everything, all the ducks in a row when she was a Zolkir. Okay. Let's see. Oh, question from Cookie Mandius. Do you have a secret player jail where you occasionally allocate more attacks to a character for jail reasons? I mean, not kill them, but they definitely get beat up more than the rest. So,
Where was this question?
I love it.
It was in the...
As a player, it feels like that sometimes.
Oh, no.
Mort,
he says it's the dice.
Roll a wisdom save, Mort.
Nice. All the wisdom saves. That was so great. No, never. I'm very against any sort of like anything like that. It's just whatever happens.
Unless it's something that the villain would do.
Yeah, if it's like a tactical thing, yeah, then the villain.
Or if it's what the dice say. Or if they've been irritating Dan that day.
Yeah, more for more, those wisdom saves were all related to Shar before Shar, became clear. Those like quick hallucinations and other things was we're trying to get in. Rain, however, who once was standing over Mort and like zapped him with a spell or something till he woke up, that took Erwin's Pegasus. The Pegasus had a wound on its leg and it was scared of Rain because Rain went out the night before. Yeah. Rain was tapped by something beyond the Omega clouds. When you all went down, what were you collecting there? You had to go across this huge chasm with all that rolling darkness, and then
I don't remember.
Like it was something for the forge, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. And the crypt pushed away, and you went down the switchback stairs. There's this big glass window that peered into the darkness. Mm-hmm. And it was like that. Some Leviathan things rolling around in there, and it was just dark.
And the glass started cracking.
Yes.
I probably wasn't here for this.
Oh, you were there because I had you do a save for it, and you failed. I was like, okay, thanks.
Thanks.
And then I'd have you do those saves sometimes at night because it was trying to find a way to kind of reach through you and mess around. Huh?
Not Rain.
No, it was Rain.
Well, no. I remember this vividly because Brixie, I know you had Brixie rolled rolls because Brixie had the cavern, that nightmare. because I remember asking you, hey, is this dream part of the backstory, or do you have something else planned? And you said, something for this story, and you didn't tell me anything. So okay, don't tell me anything, because I remember that you described it like it was like red, like at the cavern or something. I think that was with Brixie, not Rain.
Well, Brixie had something a little bit different. I can't remember what. I know what you're talking. I think I know what you're talking about, but that was something different. This was with Rain separately with that big window.
I remember.
And this one was just but yep, and it was something. So that's like elder terrors and things beyond the Omega Cloud that were just kind of peering in and, you know, and doing things. What it did, I mean, you get this powerful mage circle with ley lines that can let you traverse planes behind the house and stuff. So who knows what it did? It was testing the waters. And
I remember like Rain noticing the Pegasus was hurt.
Yeah, you'd heard it when it was in control of you.
The Pegasus?
Yeah, and that's why it was scared of you. You came back with all the snow on your feet, and like the wet pants and the snow on your feet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now this is coming back. Okay, because this is like a quote unquote dream, but it happened.
Yeah, for you it might feel like that, but yeah, you just got you know, put on like a suit for that. Yeah, yep, but you know, you're in a better place that you don't have to worry about that anymore. Yay! Let's see. Next question, Warren from Warren asks, how much did player departures change your short and long-term plans? Oh, that's a good one. A fair bit. So I mean, sometimes like Rhinewind early on, when Sarah had to leave, she had some ties to like the next arc, because I feel like you all were very briefly, was it the Feywild? You were in this little area that had like a cult and stuff, and Sarah had homebrewed this incredible water walking deity, this towering figure that drew up the ocean into it and created a humanoid form, walked along the, like, as though along the water. And I had some things tied in with that, with the next, like the segue into the next area after this cult. That was the cult itself had been sort of related to Rhinewind's thing, or was going to be. But, you know, once I knew she had to leave, I had to kind of like, cut those threads and like, you know, put it back together. I think Astrid was probably the biggest one when Beth had to leave the first time. She had the whole ranked fighters guild. They had tattoos with the Roman numerals and stuff. And her backstory with the monastery and everything else, there was a bunch of great stuff that was going to be tied in across her weapon set. You know, and I put in like my note here for this when I read this earlier, and her party dynamics, especially with Felix. That I know that maybe that doesn't, you know, have anything to do with me or the story or my plans. But it was so sad. I really liked where that was going, especially after you know, Felix procured that weapon, and Fujiro no Wakizashi. I think it was a Wakizashi. Yeah. So I mean, it does it. You know, I try and weave that in a fair bit. So again, I know Rob was with us for a bit, and then, you know, left. And Rob, I knew, you know, was only going to be with us for a bit. It's a little easier to manage, you know, around.
I'd love to start. I
would want to know more about Rob's character, because Rain was fascinated with Argon. Like, literally, I had a notebook. Like, I started taking notes of just like of things that I need to remember for next session, and one of them was ask a question about Argon's past. And then when Rob left, I was like, well, scratch that out.
He had a really, you know, because he was in Kyr's Lament, and he had a pretty interesting background, and we tied some things in with that and everything. A part of his whole point of getting that other Warforged heart, whatever, from Kaelin and going on into the world was in pursuit of being out of a contract that he had was one of the lords of the nine hells. By just, you know, of course, whether or not it would work, if it's soul based or body based, you know.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole thing where like
yeah,
we were gonna try to like transfer his soul into a Warforged. Pretty early on when Kaylin hadn't really worked with the Forge that much.
Yeah, which I think you did, right? You put him in a body and then moved him on, and then he went on.
Yeah.
It was a rudimentary thing.
I know that me and Bob or Rob had a lot of like conversations, like not a lot, but like a few conversations off screen of just like, you know, yeah.
All right. A question from Jonathan. How many times did the storm fall? Many. I love thunderstorms. There's a lot of them.
Of course you would ask that, Jonathan. Well played.
Another question from Jonathan. If your character, so I'll go around and ask each of you. If your character woke up one day as an animal, what animal would you be? And would you keep your original class? A bit of a silly, lighter side. Frank, how about you?
For Mort, it would have to be a turtle.
That's cute. Would you be a wizard turtle? Would you keep your class?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Is there no other?
I love it. Okay. Excuse me, Steph, how about you? Oh, a lot of thought.
Can you come back to me?
Yeah, sure. Wow. All right. Mariah, how about
Whiskey
you?
in this question, don't mix.
Nice. If you turned into an animal, which one? And would you keep your clothes?
I mean, obviously, hello, Brixie, a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hello.
Yes. On point.
For Rain, oh gosh, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously. Oh, hey, to answer your question, yes, Brixie would still be a druid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Golly, for Rain?
Yeah. I'm curious.
I know.
Yeah, it's obvious.
I mean, the obvious one is a raven, but yeah, I knew you guys were thinking of that, but I don't think Rain would be a raven. But...
You want me to check back in?
Gosh.
I'm going to let you think.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Come back to me.
Steph, do you have your answer? You've got a face on that says you've got an answer.
For Kaylin, I think a bear.
Oh, yeah.
Mama bear.
And would she... Yeah, she'd probably keep her fighter thing.
Okay. You seem so disappointed with this. I didn't realize you were so sad. You like let down by your psionics.
What would Orem? What would Orem?
Like yeah, I'd say a fighter. Awesome. Sorry, Rain. Did you have one?
Oh Rain? No, I was
okay.
I was talking to Steph. What would Orem be?
Oh, Oren. I was trying to think. I keep thinking like a leopard.
Okay.
What about a peacock?
That's a good one, Melissa.
That would be good. I was trying to think of something that's also stealthy because he was like able to like he had a bunch of stuff that I never was able to use. He had a sword. I don't think I used the sword once that like flew by itself and attacked things by itself.
Nice.
Anyways. Yeah, so either a peacock or like something like a jaguar or something.
Okay. Ed, how about you?
I'm having a tough time with Felix, but for Galathor, he'd be a snowy egret, and probably for Garrick, maybe like a hedgehog.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome.
Garrett wouldn't be a llama.
That's too on the nose.
Yeah. Nice. Well, you think they keep their classes all around? Yeah, it'd be hard to give up a lifetime of practicing that. Warren, how about you?
Oh, Emil would be Seb.
Oh, yeah. That's so
right in the
sweet.
field.
Oh. Do you have any
about
thoughts
Rowan?
on Rowan? Yeah.
No real thoughts on Rowan.
Yeah. Okay, neat. Sam, how about you?
So this is difficult. I feel like Ormia would be a fox.
Okay. Yeah.
Mina would probably be like I'm not entirely sure. I don't know about Mina, but Aaron would be a dog.
Oh, so cute.
Excitable.
Very excitable,
loyal,
sometimes intelligent.
Yeah.
Nice. And a tail that always wags behind her, like the king.
And then in Mina, I am kind of leaning towards like a kangaroo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love it.
They're built.
Whoa.
They're fighters.
And just kind of like just chill, just willing to be chill, and then you get too close to the things that are precious to her and she will tear your head off.
Nice. All right. Melissa, how about you?
Right off the bat, Emersina would absolutely be a horse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she would definitely keep her druid ranger side of her. And Devanya, I'm having a hard time between a hawk and a wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's really it's really difficult.
Nice. Oh, werehog. Where's
No.
Best of both worlds.
Can I have fan art of that?
Nice.
That monstrosity.
Awesome. Okay. Mariah, what you got for Rain? And it's okay if you can't think of it.
Rain. Probably a snowy owl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Mina would be an owl too. That's right. That's what I thought.
And
They could be owls together.
that's not
What
me,
was
is
that?
Sorry, no, that was me.
Okay, and thank you.
Oh.
I was just worried that I did something. I'm like, oh, I've got too many electronics out here.
I was just
no.
No, it's just cold in here.
No.
Oh, okay.
This one.
But yeah, I think
Snowy owl.
snowy owl stealth probably
Yeah.
instead of cleric, rogue.
Oh,
for Rain.
Okay. I like it. Swooping up on people and stealing watches. Nice. All right. Yes, next one's actually just one for me, for you, that I put together because I just not like, I don't know. Part of me is like, I shouldn't ask this because I don't want it to be like a self-gratifying answer, but it's more about just like, for each of you, I'll go around and ask those of you that were able to have, like your personal stories completed. So I probably won't be able to ask you, Frank, because we didn't get that in yours. But was it like, did it go along at all as you expected? And how did you feel about it once it was done? I guess more for you, I'll just ask campaign wise. Did it go at all as what you were expecting when you first joined?
No,
What?
no, of course not.
No.
Nice.
I mean, not in a bad way. I guess it's just like, I mean, you don't really know your character at first when you're joining. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was satisfied with, I mean, for the most part of how things turned out, but definitely, I don't think I came into the campaign in the beginning with any like hard expectations of like, I want this to happen. Kaylin just wanted to go on an adventure,
Nice. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you more like not a little less about my side of the storytelling question. And this is it's a question for me, but for all of you, I wrote this one. who's your favorite NPC? So still, I guess, a little self-serving here. I'm so sorry. Frank,
Yeah,
how about you?
Yeah.
Nice. Dan. If you had to choose one, I mean, obviously they're great. Just kidding. Or maybe they're all so bad it's tough to guess. Yeah. It's 4.5 years of NPCs to cycle through.
Yeah. Scarlet, yeah. Scarlet Shuffle Trot.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Freaking love Scarlet.
Was there anything that struck you about Scarlet? It's like, yeah, that's fun or interesting or whatever. Or just an overall impression of her.
Just the overall impression.
Yeah.
Of,
Nice.
Neat idea.
Awesome. All right, Steph, how about you?
Who do you think?
Excluding Brewer.
Okay. All right.
The love interest you spent your life with.
I actually I was thinking of something else. I was like, wait a minute, Brewer was an NPC, because it's so hard for me to forget that. I don't know. I would say besides Brewer or Finholt, probably. There were so many I liked a lot in Encounter Rule, of course, like the Council, Lilith, and but I would say probably it was probably Ren. Like, I loved his arc, because we met him. Was it first? It was the first episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Sundown.
Where Aylar was down the chasm, and we had to go and rescue him, and he was so distrustful, and the college took Aylar away, and we met him later, and he was definitely harder, and definitely had went through a lot.
Yeah.
And
I noticed
and it went through a lot, and was definitely more hardened. It's the only word I can think of right now. And and of course, the whole where he was was being used was definitely very heartbreaking, and but then came around in the end as as a good guy. I definitely worse for wear, but I just appreciate that kind of arc for him, and that he didn't just kind of fall out.
Good. In my very first note, I included, as I've said before, I included him as being a part of the Big Bad Endgame. I wanted it all in that first episode, and I wrote in there specifically slow character development, like these changes that you'll feel over the. So I'm glad it kind of hit through. I did not expect him to turn around. It was player intervention and discussion that compelled him to be like, no, this is not it at all. Once it finally got to that point, Euthaz was like, psych, I'm gonna almost use them as my avatar. It was everyone's impression on him that brought him around.
Good.
Let's see. Rain, how about you? Mariah, how about you? Who's your favorite NPC? If you have one.
Nala.
Nice. Anything in particular you like about Nala, or just sort of like
just the way the overall vibe that Nala gave, like wanted to be like Emil in a way, just trying to be seeky.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Nala was a possible love interest for Emil, right?
Yeah, I figured later on, if the time went by, and she was going to be when she met you back at the keep, while later. She was like 19 or something like that by then.
Ooh.
Yeah, and had a bit of a, she hadn't forgotten. Emil and Felix had a huge role in changing her life when she stole Felix's weapon. And they caught up, and they didn't beat her, they didn't turn her into the police, they didn't steal all of her stuff. They were like, you can't do this. Like, this isn't how you're going to get you anywhere. You're going to end up back here again and again. And it really, you know, rung true to her. And then she, you know, put a lot of her pursuit in kind of living that life, you know, how Emil set out, and definitely was smitten with Emil. Definitely. Nala and Winifred are my two favorite NPCs. I did too.
Well, okay. I thought we only had to pick one. Winifred.
It's just one, but yeah.
Love the dynamic of Winifred.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I really wish I had more room in the story to kind of do some more with Winifred. I also, you know, do roles with NPCs and like world things going on in the background, and it was just a lot that she was after the Baron and doing a bunch of other things a lot. And I was like, part of me is like, I just want to bring her in whenever I can anyway. Yeah. All right, Ed, how about you? Do you have a favorite NPC?
Oh, there's so many. I liked the way that Archivist Lorna turned out.
Okay, cool.
The betrayal was fun, even though it sucked at the time. It was a fun turn.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Warren, how about you?
Yeah, I think Lady Winifred Delka. I think her relationship to the Baron, the fact that you know, there's a lot of history there. She's actually his ancestor, his antecedent. Yeah, like you said, there's a lot that we didn't get to see, but I think that the hints were really, really good.
Nice.
And I absolutely loved visiting the hall every time I could. It was great.
Awesome. It's also an answer one of the questions to come up for me. The hall with Emil and Winifred. Awesome. Sam, how about you? Do you have a favorite NPC?
I actually really liked Davros. Because I just felt like he was a really good foil for Ermia, especially when she was going through like the whole she was going the beginning of her fall, her fallen arc was with that. So he was I think he was probably my favorite villain. And then NPC in general. I mean, I really like Mistra.
Nice, good.
She was fun. She was just fun. It's just more crazy I could bounce off of you. It was great.
It was really fun to role play the child. You know, I can never remember her name. I forget. But yeah, it was really fun to be able to like do the festival was going on that first day. Caitlin Moonsong, nice. Yep. Oh, let's go get this. Like, boom, on Mistra, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. It was really fun.
She's just like, sure, I'll go eat some donuts. Oh, God. That's fine.
You had me
no
in
big
donuts.
deal.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Melissa, how about you? Favorite NPC?
Well, that's kind of hard considering almost everybody like was taking NPCs out of my mouth.
You can double down on one if you want.
Like they're all so good. You know, like I like the Titans, I like Scarlet, I like everybody. But I will have to say, now don't hate me for this, guys. I really enjoyed Yathaz's progress throughout the campaign. Even if it was like the little subtle things that we couldn't see or understand or knew at the time, like from the very beginning towards the end and seeing it come to a head and just shut up. But like the progress of any NPC in the campaign, but also like, I don't know, it was just maybe because I like psychology, maybe that's why, but like just seeing all of that in the span of 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you still continued it after 4.5 years.
Nice.
Like my brain would have like given that up so long ago. I have no patience. So I applaud you as the DM on keeping up with all of that. Like my brain could never.
Thank you, Melissa.
I agree. Yeah.
Lots of notes. Lots of notes. Oh, question from Tasha. What's your group name?
Oh God.
I think she's just trolling us.
We're the Stormfall Coalition.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. We did get the name. We got the name at the end there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we get it in the first 100 episodes?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Dan. No, Dan, what happened with the girl in the window?
Oh my goodness. So like, I almost don't want to say because there's so much I want to do with that. Like, we're not doing any more campaigns in this world, which sucks because she would have been in there one way or the other for sure. But I feel like I want to work her into a one shot. So I don't. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't want to say because you're gonna show up in a one shot.
That's terrifying.
One question, Dan. Was that in fact Kaylin's mother?
Doesn't make any sense.
Timey. Oh no. Thankfully, no. Oh my goodness.
Was it Keelan's child?
No.
In a timey-wimey way. Yeah.
Lovely timey-wimey.
Mommy?
I just wanted to see my mom while she was in the city.
No, that's what made me think of a Doctor Who episode. Are you my mommy?
Oh, right.
Yes, with the gas mask.
Be fun to have her show up in Calderon as a traveling merchant, and then
right.
Oh, here we'll meet the head of the council, and see Caitlin standing there.
Yeah.
That would be so crazy.
I can't wait. I've got several ideas. I don't know which one shot I'm going to put her in, but I know what's been going on with her because I've been working on that like on the side for years.
She's been growing up.
Since the first joke about it, I'm like, this clearly has to come back. Oh, I can't wait.
She's been planning something like
Even with the campaign being over. Oh, damn.
I honestly was not expecting, but the thought had entered my mind of her being one of the Zolkirs.
Oh no, she's too young.
Speaking of, did you answer that? Who all of the Zolkirs are?
Nobody asked.
Well,
but since you're asking now. Yeah. I'm happy to share.
Who were they all? Who are the ones that we didn't figure out or come across?
Okay, I'm opening up that note. Let's see. Cities that have fallen. Oh, do I not have Oh, I can't answer. Well, I guess I can because it'll be different now. It'll be different. So, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Iverness, over Iverness. Remember the cities that had fallen. Iverness, Zolkir was Emersina. And she was given that power. That's why they were like, oh no, it was a mess because of everything with Emersina and her brother beforehand. Then Emersine was locked up in that cage, and another person in one of the other cages there offered her this, again, in the way Ythaz does. You can make this right. You don't have to deal with what happened to you happen to anyone else in this city or anything like that. And so she took that power and within a week cleaned up the city to make everyone fall in line. So that was the first Zolkir in my list. Ornair Kalar, which is up in Tegradoth. The city was under siege, but not fallen. That's where all of the the Silverborn, Dragonborn were. That was actually Renan, who was this, which maybe I shared. I don't know. Renan was the Dao that ruled over Tosa, the genie, the Jinn, the Dao that ruled over Tosa. Yeah. Not necessarily super tied together with you, but you had some interactions with them. You had a bunch of magical items, this and that. Always wanting more. That was an easy one to get for Ythaz.
Wow. That would have been an interesting interaction.
City of Metz, of course, Brixie, Zolkir Brixie. Bexley was under siege by Meesop.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
Wait,
Wow.
hold the phone.
Hold on.
What?
Yep.
Dad, how could you?
Yeah. Well, Meesop's the bug demon that like tried to double cross Dolglamos at the end. Dolglamos being Brixie's dad. Yeah. And their souls like regenerate in a different layer of hell and then come back. So it was that one.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have a follow-up question after you name all of them.
Okay. You can ask now if you want, and then I'll continue on.
Okay. So the deal that Brixie made with the bug, right?
I don't think you made a deal with the bug, did you?
Well,
you made it with Arzamon.
You made a deal with the butterfly devil. This is the one you made a deal with.
Well, no, the blood pact that began to wibbly wobbly.
No, that was just to open the door. Yeah, wasn't anything.
Dang it! So the wibbly wobbly thing wasn't like a Zil killer.
I mean, it's the bug demon. You use the blood.
I'm looking too deep into this
to see Meesop. Yeah, Meesop ended up. I think when you went through, you ended up. So Meesop didn't want you to go. Like he was tasked to bring you to Dolglamos, but because he's double, crossing Dolglamos, he didn't actually want you to go to him. So he brought you to that alleyway to sell you to that giant ogre that you fought later on, and 2 other creatures that were there. That's how you tracked down. When everyone else went there, they were pointed to that ogre, I think, or that alleyway. And the ogre and their 2 compatriots sold you to Arzamon. And that's how you came to know Arzamon. Like, oh no, I've got you. Yeah, you want that? Sure. All you have to do is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, let's see. Black Rock Landing.
Like I said, I'm looking too deep into it.
No worries. I mean, I tie a lot of stuff in pretty deep, so. Hi, Delegation of Dreamers. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Black Rock Landing. Zilkir Delorna, which you defeated, of course.
Yeah.
She deserved it.
Nice. Let's see.
If you can't reveal them for reasons, that's fine.
Yeah, there's one I can't reveal. Bone Ladir, Garten Earthgrip, Oh, and Zambora, the one you're probably all like, all right, who's trying to attack Zambora with all the undead and everything? Zilkir Ogle Buttress. The dean. From that first campus. Shut down, lost any standing he had.
Aaron would have loved taking down that one.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yep.
So much.
Oh no.
He would have been hosed.
Nice. Yeah. Yep, that's who the Zilkirs were.
The ones that you can reveal.
Yeah. Tasha asked a question that was similar. It's basically like, what was your favorite moment in the game? We've kind of done that with like the most memorable, but this is where I put some of my things. So I'll just kind of answer this one and plug my things in.
We also have chat questions.
Oh yeah, yep.
We've been writing them down.
Thank you so much, Red. Yeah, I think Ormia defeating Davros is one of them, because that was sort of the ultimate, pursuit in that, and finding her mentor and defeating Davros, and it was in such a glorious, spectacular way. I think, when the party discovered the rituals from the 2 folks to unbind Kaelin, like learning that from those 2 people in the basement of Metz or wherever it was.
And then they made a bet.
Yeah, because they couldn't decide. Yeah. I love that, because it was like, you'll know when you get there based on how many things, and if people wrote it, I wasn't going to remind anyone. Like, if you wrote it down, you had it. It worked out so well. That and the unbinding itself was really fun. I really liked how when you all kind of decided, like the whole pursuit of a city divided arc and Black Rock Landing, and then like because there were epic moments, right? The whole thing is sort of tied, with Ayler and the explosions on the skin and stuff. And then it's when Emil's like, I'm not running anymore, and went into battle. That was like such an effing epic moment. And then the way you all had this huge battle and dealt with the different sides of this and went through the crucible and all of this, and then had this say in like how things go from here on out, and the way that you chose to handle that and resolve that is beautiful. It made it for such a wonderful state for a kingdom that hasn't seen that in centuries. That was really nice. Emil's hallway conversations with Winifred. Here it is, because I love those so much. And then Emil and Brixie finally holding hands at the church. Those were my favorite moments, because it was like that very slow and subtle thing, and then it was just this overwhelming moment there in the city, and they just held hands, sat next to each other and held hands. Like, that is so effing beautiful. That was the people hiding underneath stuff, and then so many more. Okay, next question. We've got a couple more that have been provided across the week, and then we're going to get the rest of the chat questions if we've got the time here. What was your favorite location, whether large or small in scale? I'll go backwards on this one. Melissa, favorite location?
Dan it, Dan.
Sorry. I thought I'd have time. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to go backwards, but I mean, Zambora.
Oh, okay.
Was a big favorite. And of course, Miranda. Gotta have my heart in Miranda and Iverness.
Yeah.
Those are my top 3.
Nice. Sam, how about you?
Zambora, of course.
Nice,
just this, not the keep, but the city itself.
Okay, yeah.
All especially the rings.
Yeah.
And Orin's keep.
That was cool. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so glad. That was fun. All right. Warren, how about you? A favorite location?
Winifred Delacroix's Hall of Portraits, including at some point there's a portrait of Eckhart that Emil put up in there.
Yes, right. Still there to this day. Yeah. I love that so much. I forgot about Eckart's amazing. I'm a wizard, you know. Ed, how about you? Favorite location?
Oh, I'm so glad Beth's not here so I can steal Aoife's tower.
Nice, okay.
But no, yeah, you gotta love a good wizard's tower for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Mariah, how about you?
Keeping Zambora, because for Brixie, it was that tree inside. I mean, Brixie made that her little her cozy home.
Cradle tree. Cradles you when you branches.
I think I would say that Rain's Temple, and also the ending in the Shadow Realm where I described what Rain's temple was back in the Shadowfell. So.
Still, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, never mind. Nothing. Never mind. Go on. Okay. I was gonna go off topic. I was like, no.
Hold it.
We don't have time.
Steph, how about you? Favorite location?
Definitely Caldwell.
Oh, okay, good. Anything stick out about it? Or just that it was home?
Just that it was home. The forge, the estate. Yeah.
Frank, how about you?
When Mort's not at the keep, it'll be Kaylin's library.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
Gift from the roomkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so cool. I loved how much y'all use that too. I love it when you create something and you know, people enjoy it and use it. Yeah, get it. Okay. The last question from Discord, and then I think we just have one or two from chat. This one's for me. Was there ever a time that you planned on something, but the group went a completely different direction? I think that this is from Trisha.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Answer constantly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just can't plan for what, you know, especially a group of 8 people are going to do. You can kind of guess, but you can't. I think that, especially because you all as players are so capable and able to think outside the box so well, that it's also very difficult to nail down like how you're going to approach things or like which things you're going to pursue.
We were just testing you and your improv abilities, Dan.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I struggled the most like in those moments between arcs where there was like downtime and then there's like a few hooks out, like I don't know where they're going to go. Like you can't plan too much in any of them because I don't know which way you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that as far as like the heart of Trisha's question here, probably Miranda would be my concrete answer. Miranda had a very different plan to it, very different in a couple notes. I think
I
that
kind of fast forwarded it too.
it did, but that's the beauty of the game, right? You know, like yeah, the blowing up the guard station. I was prepared for exactly 0%. It's like
be here for a couple weeks, and I'm just like, nope, put it in full gear.
Yeah, right.
Getting done.
Yeah, I had to think like, well, what would the NPCs do? Or how would they react? And you know, is their whole thing going to be undermined at the end? It's under attack. But it was fun. I mean, it worked out, and we'll see like what else happens in the one shot when we get to do that. I think one of the other things was Rain's pursuit of the baddies that held those shards and energy of the Raven Queen. The Raven Queen was weak and needed these shards back from those creatures. And one was there in the Underdark. And I think there was even a map like to the rough location. But it, you know, just didn't get pursued. And there's that. I think a little bit maybe. I think Galathor had some artifacts of Helm. Was it Helm is the deity, I think? And there were some of those, like the fake shield, but then it had like a map that was gonna, and I think that's where you went to collect one of them, but there were some others. But then I think we switched over from Galathor to Garrett because it wasn't really, you know, in the vibe to continue with that. Those are things I can think of where I put some plans together. You know, but they didn't click. Okay, I'll grab a couple more. We since we've gotten a few more, but we got to wrap up here. So let's see.
No, we don't.
We've kind of covered the toughest character choices. We've sort of done that with some of the other things. We kind of covered that. Let's see. One thing. Okay, so Stefan asked what the toughest character's choice is, but I think we've kind of covered that throughout. Sort of. Sure. I guess we'll take through the simple ones. So I guess if you want to let me know what your tough, because that is a little bit different. What was your character? What was Mort's toughest choice in this campaign?
I guess Shar was a tough choice because it was just like so much help. Would have been so much help, but it was like he had to stick to his, you know, this is not my scene. This is not my, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah.
Right. Steph, we'll just stick with main characters because it's pretty late.
Nope,
so
you're
Kaylin,
fine. You're fine.
You can pick a character and answer.
You would think that the coffin one would be mine, but it wasn't. She wasn't that difficult of a choice.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with when we were the same episode when we were there getting Ormia.
Mm-hmm.
I almost had Kaylin use her cape that does Dimension Door and takes her 500 feet with someone willing. And so she was like this close to offering that to Ormia to get her away from the group if they were going to start harming her.
And then they forced me to change my role.
Yeah.
Like she would have gone along with Caitlin.
Yeah, but before that, I was like, literally, if it came to my turn, I was going to.
Yeah, in all honesty, I think it would have been better for everyone if they had to let Ormia leave with Kaylin. But then they were like, no, we're gonna change that role. We're using all of our subscriber dice. And I'm like, well, okay, she's gonna keep attacking you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot about that. Mariah, you can pick one of the characters. Let us know what your toughest decision was.
I think it might for Rain, and I will type in the Discord and for Brixie, but for Rain, as a player, not as a character, was to either let Rain live or pass on.
Yeah. Especially the end. Especially
but
victory.
I told myself that, all right, if Rain dies again, don't do it, Mariah. Make a pact with yourself. And I did, and I kept to my word. But I was just like, I want to be with everybody.
Yeah.
And like, that was hard.
All right. Ed, how about you? You can pick whichever character.
Yeah, sure. For my characters, there wasn't really one particular moment, just because of they have like pretty softball character backstories and really strong convictions, so it doesn't really lend itself to that. But the one that sticks out is during one of the crossovers. I believe it was Kira's Lament was going to attack. Was it Rain? I think it was Rain.
Yeah.
And
you banished her.
Yeah, so Galathor basically noped Rain out of there.
Yeah. That's right.
Normally, I remember that because Rain was still a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally I wouldn't really impose on another character's choices like that, but I felt like that was kind of one of the few options that we had at the moment, other than, go to all out.
Go out all out fisticuffs with Kira's Lament.
Yeah. It was clutch. I was relieved when you did it. I'm not gonna lie. As a DM, I'm like, okay, I didn't foresee any of that. Whoops. Thank you. just a direct thank you, Ed, for doing so. Yeah, I can see that being tough and like, okay. Oh. Warren, how about you? Toughest choice.
I think for me, the ongoing thing with Emil of how to deal with Ormia and the Compass and how to try and keep Emil in the game and in the party while this was going on.
Right. Yes. So contradicting. Yeah. Sam, how about you? You can pick whichever character.
For Aaron, it was for Aaron accepting Mistra's offer to be her replacement. Because, like, that's freaking terrifying.
Yep.
So
nice. Boom, yeah.
Like, do I really want to do this? Do I really have it in me? That's a lot of responsibility.
Damn. Oh my gosh. Awesome. That's so cool. Melissa, how about you? You can pick whichever character. Toughest decision.
For Devanya, not killing Mal.
Oh, okay.
In doing so, choosing to keep her humanity in it all at the end, and not destroying him. Like that was so freaking hard. It took months, actually, because I've been thinking about it for such a long time. It took a couple months for me to come to that decision.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
Life.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we've got one question's really quick. The other one's just a good one to end on. We have some fun ones, like where would everyone go on vacation, and like moments you look back on fondly out of character. But since we've kind of covered a little the out of character, like the oh, I see, it's out of character. We've kind of covered a little of that, and not so much of vacation, but we've talked about favorite places. Let's see. Then let's see. All right. So for the DM, as a DM, what was your biggest challenge to overcome in this campaign, and why was it Steph? Jeez. Yeah, innuendo was the biggest challenge in this. Biggest challenge. I don't know. It was so wonderful to play with all of you as players, and really just lent itself to great storytelling. I can't really say that there's I really don't feel like I had any challenges as far as like DMing. I think so with this creative powerhouse here of these role players, trying to feed that beast, like make sure that I'm doing my part to like give content to, for them to do all this magic with, would probably be the greatest challenge. Like making sure that I've got things that are compelling, that feel like they have real stakes, that have the emotional element and immersion. That was definitely the challenge, for sure. And last question for the night. This is for the players, because I really like this one, also from Zen. For the players, what's one thing you wanted or hoped to bring to the campaign as a player?
Ooh, good question.
And we'll go backwards and start with Melissa again.
Dan? Okay, repeat the question just for a second.
No problem. It is, what's the one thing, I mean, if you had to name one thing, that you wanted or hoped to bring to the campaign as a player? What were you hoping to bring or offer to the campaign?
I hope that... Oh, jeez. I hope that through my characters and through our character developments and the way that I role-played and represented them, that it gave other people a sense of to know that you're not alone. That there are multiple people, no matter where they are, that feel the same, and the struggles that I might portray in my characters might represent some of you guys as the audience, but that it will be okay in the end. Like, even if you don't feel like it right now, because I wanted to really incorporate, like I said earlier, I do tie in some of my real life stuff into my characters and who I am. And I hope that somebody somewhere out there took some of that to heart, or even thought about it, that whatever you're struggling with, whatever your internal battle, that it can be okay. And I know it's hard to ask for help, but like with Devanya, she has a really hard time asking for help and asking about friends and doesn't know much about friendships, but it's okay to talk to your friends. It's okay to be scared sometimes to talk to your friends, but just know that you will be okay. It's not going to last forever.
That's beautiful. And follow it up, Sam. What you got? Just kidding.
Definitely not anything so deep. I was hoping to bring fun. No, it's good. It's good. I wanted to bring fun. Fun and confidence. Because like I know I have training. I'm an actor. I do these things, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't play D&D. You know, I'm no good at acting. I don't want to. You know, I can't do this. And so I was hoping to like kind of show everybody, because we all started here as strangers, and I wanted to be like, this is where the fun, the meat of the game truly is. And so I wanted to bring the joy and the fun that I always have whenever I play D&D.
Oh, nice. Success. I'm gonna call both of those things a success so far. Awesome. All right. Warren, how about you?
Oh, you totally got it. Oh, you said Warren. I thought you said Mort.
Oh, Warren, I'm sorry. Yeah, surprise! No, I'm not. I won't be that bad tonight, I promise.
I don't think I had anything really that I was hoping to bring, because I hadn't really played 5th Ed. I hadn't played in this way before. I just hope that, you know, people had fun, I guess.
You brought the fun, Warren. I can guarantee it. Nice. An amazing role play. I'm still sometimes like that Rowan's like impassioned speech there almost a few episodes before the end. It's like, oh my gosh, like that whole week I just kept thinking back to it, like, damn, it's on the fly. Like that was so good. Yay. So thank you, Warren, for everything you brought. Ed, how about you?
Yeah, so I guess we only have our own personal experiences to draw from. So I definitely brought my my love for cooking in through Felix, and then also through Garrick. I have a little bit of background in like machining and stuff like that, so I really drew on that for Garrick.
That's so cool. That's awesome. It was a lot of fun to see that in Garrick, and definitely I like the cooking you were bringing, because you could tell that it's a personal passion too. Like, and it's this, and it was like this beautiful thing you described. Like, oh, I look forward to it. Like each week, like what's Felix gonna make? So thank you. Yeah, that's great. Mariah, how about you? What was it? Did you have anything you hoped to bring to the part, like the group, or offer?
I mean, all of it has been said, but for me I was hoping to bring personal growth to myself, not just only to learn, like, was not expecting this to go like the 3.5 years that I've been part of this group. Well, no, not even in a half, just like the 3 years that I've been with you guys. I was just like nervous, and I did not know what to expect, because I was not expecting to be part of a live D&D campaign, being a newbie that I was at the time. But I feel like I've grown as a player, and I've grown as a person as well. Like, I took this as a learning aspect, because I don't, like, you guys know, but like our audience doesn't know. Well, probably some, but besides the point, I'm autistic, and through D&D, I have learned so much about like social skills, like social, like cues and stuff like that, because I, like, after Rain and Orium's death, like like I made compulsion decisions on both Rain and Brixie's, but I'm not gonna get too deep into that because we're out of time. But after that incident, like Sam and I talked because Sam was devastated and I was hurt as well because I was like, oh my god, what I've done. Sam might have to create another character and it's my fault for that. So I learned from that as like, okay. And then like I started messaging the Zoom chat. I was like, is this a good idea? People would chime in like, oh yeah, pursue it. No, this is a bad idea. It's like, oh, okay. And then I would act not on the impulse decisions from what people have chimed in. And so yeah.
That's wonderful. Yay, that's so exciting. Awesome. Steph, how about you?
I guess it was kind of similar in that like I kind of came into this is my first like campaign, and really beyond like 1 or 2 games of D&D, it was my first, beyond those 4 hours I spent playing D&D before Stormfall, this was like the first D&D experience pretty much. But I guess like as it went on, like I just strove to like play Kaylin with a lot of sincerity and meaning. And just you probably a little intense at times, but so I guess in a way to kind of show that, this game, D&D can also can be just a fun experience, but also you can use it to kind of, explore some of the more meaningful elements in life and be sincere about it. And I got to explore that with Kaylin. Probably one of my more serious characters besides probably Ileana on Sundays, but yeah.
Nice. Okay. Beautiful. And Frank, how about you?
2 things. From watching early on, it's like technically I was like, man, these guys need a heavy hitter.
Nice.
These guys are like pew 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 pew. It's like, man, they need somebody to come here and start slinging some stuff.
It's amazing.
With the converse, it was like with the role play, it was like, oh my god, these guys are deep and heavy. It's like, so I just like, it's just my natural personality too. It's just like to be the pressure relief valve.
Nice.
Be it skinny dipping in the lake or inventing pizza or buying orange pajamas.
Oh, the silk PJs, yeah.
Or flirting with a certain elf.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, sometimes especially after a heavy encounter, it's like, okay, we gotta, lighten the mood a little.
That's amazing. Oh well, those are all such beautiful things you've all brought. I mean, you've created a masterpiece here. I have thoroughly enjoyed everything you've each brought to the table, and again, the beautifully woven masterpiece that you've put together.
That we've put together, because we couldn't have done it without you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that we've put
this
together.
This is all of us.
Well, we killed it.
We've grown so much in the last 4.5 years. Like it's been such an amazing privilege and honor to see everybody grow and change in the ways that they have. Like, okay, I better stop before I cry.
Right? I know. Yeah, I was like, okay. All right, with that, because we're running so late, we'll wrap up. I guess our final Stormfall thing with this Fabbird Squawks tonight. Thank you each for being here tonight, taking the time, setting it aside to do this. It's been so great hanging out with you all and seeing you on the screen here. And viewers, thank you so much for hanging out with us. you've caught the first episode of Madbird Squawks, a talk show with different players across different campaigns on the stream. This is our Stormfall crew. Beth couldn't make it tonight, but including Beth, it's our Stormfall crew. We just wrapped our 4.5 year 180 something, or low 180s, high 170s Stormfall campaign. It's beautiful. And if you had fun and liked what you saw tonight, please consider giving a follow. I'll quickly throw over. Oh my gosh, I don't have the schedule on this one. Shame on me. Let's see if I can add it super quickly. Consider giving us a follow. We have so much content across the week, including oh my goodness. I do not have the schedule quick and easy to go here. I've been doing so much that it's like nowhere to be found.
You're a real streamer now.
I know.
You can go through it verbally.
No, there's too much. Oh my goodness, that's a real...
Well, while he's looking for it,
mm-hmm.
On Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time and at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we have D&D 5e homebrew campaigns, Tower of Dreams, and then In Extremis. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have Learning Blender with Stuff. 6 p.m. Eastern time, we have Mad Games at Dusk with Trish. And at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we have Obsidian Scar, which is another D&D 5e campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have Stormfall Initiative, which is a webtoon style comic that I'm working on for Stormfall. Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time is The Forsaken, another D&D 5e campaign. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, Dan?
Yes.
Is in Mad Indie Game Time with Dan, with myself and Dan, usually, where we play some indie games, some cooperative, some single player. Also, yeah. And then that's it. We have Mad Game with Dano and friends throughout the week in the late afternoon, late mornings, early afternoons.
Yeah.
And more to come. More coming up.
Oh yeah. A lot more. It's like this thing's gonna be so full. I might have to do another redesign right after this redesign for the schedule. All right, I'll shut the schedule off so you can see our beautiful faces again. Yeah, so consider giving a follow, and you can catch a bunch of that stuff as we go live. Oh, thank you, Daniel. 24 months sub. That's awesome, Daniel Lands. Yay! Yeah, we hope you all take care. We'll keep you posted in the Discord on some new campaigns. We will have one that we'll be reaching out to these beautiful folks, these beautiful players, about jumping into the next campaign.
You're not getting rid of us that easily.
Yeah. Oh, it's too late. You know what? I will speak offline, Jonathan. Farewell. Au revoir. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Wee wee.
Oh no.
Au revoir.